Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexi's here, and it's Tuesday morning, and the Raptors are playing their third game of Summer League tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, against the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets are 0-2 so far in the Summer League, and they had a very narrow loss to the Milwaukee Bucks, and then they got their butt kicked in the last game. So, yeah, I feel good about today's game. Now, the way we're going to kind of measure whether we're got a better chance is who's going to be available for the Raptors tonight. Are they going to say tonight, Jacoby's not playing, Jamal's not playing because we don't need to see them anymore? I don't know. James Wade very publicly stating he'd like his players to play and be available, but we won't know. And in some ways, as he said, it's not up to him. It's up to the management of the Toronto Raptors, whether they will allow our better players at Summer League to continue playing. Often, much like Cooper Flag, you get shut down after a couple of games and you don't play anymore for a while. Now, I will say this. The Denver Nuggets are probably worse than both the Magic and the Bulls. I'm just saying, looking at them on paper, I am not impressed with them. Let's go look at their roster for a second. Their key player in this team this year at Summer League is their rookie from last year who did not get to play. Deron Holmes II got hurt at the very, very beginning, like I think even before the season started last year. So they lost out on their first-round pick from the year before, contributing to the Nuggets last year. But he is healthy and he is back. He has had mixed results in the first two games in the Denver Nuggets games, but he is somebody to watch out for on the other side. The leading scorer for the Nuggets in Summer League so far is out of Stanford. His name is Spencer Jones. He's a forward, 6'7", and yeah, he's been the one who's carrying with the scoring load so far for their team. So we need to keep an eye on him. There's a couple of prospects from the New York Knicks system that have made their way to the Nuggets Summer League team, including Reese Beekman, guard from Virginia. Also, Boo Buie, who was on the Westchester Knicks last year, is on this team we're going to face tonight. Another guard, 6'2" out of Northwestern. Another player that maybe we should watch out for is former teammate of Marquise Noel at Kansas State, Keontae Johnson, is in on the Nuggets Summer League team. But yeah, most of these names are not really big names. They're not scary names. They're not prestigious names. They're just names. And in some ways, I don't have no respect for none of these guys if I don't know who they are. Hunter Tyson was on the Nuggets last year, and he will be playing today for the Nuggets, hopefully. I don't know if he will be for sure, but he's on the roster. And EJ Liddell is another second-year player that is on this team also. But otherwise, everybody else is a one-year player or a rookie on this team. So there's limited experience on this Nuggets Summer League roster. So I feel real good. I mean, the Raptors have shown a style of play that is very winning in Summer League so far, and I don't expect that to change. Even if we lose Jacoby for tonight's game because he's sitting out because the Raptors management says so, or Jamal, I have a lot of confidence that even with a couple of our better players sitting out, we will beat the Nuggets too. Still, next man up. And that energy that we're doing on the other team with harassing, it carries over to Chucky Hepburn and Elijah Martin. So we'll just have to see how they play it tonight. Once again, don't blame anybody if the Raptors do not play the Jacoby Walter and Jamal Shed tonight. Don't get mad at that. That's just the greater scheme. I know some of y'all will be saying, oh, man, I want to try and win the championship. And I get it. I'm with you on this. But Summer League isn't necessarily about winning the Summer League championship. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. It's about showcasing players to see them and determining things for the future for your franchise. And in some ways, I get it. In some ways, I could make the argument the Raptors have the most contract players at the Summer League right now, guys that are going to be on our team already. And in some ways, the guys at the end of the bench don't really have a whole lot of chance. Maybe they get the Summer League Vegas experience of being around the team, practicing and getting more professional atmosphere around themselves, Tyson Degenhart and the kid from New Zealand. But in some ways, do we really need to see them? Could we just play our best players out and just try and win the Summer League chip? It's not the Raptors' nature to do that in the past. There have been summer leagues where it seemed like we were really good, and then we would play people out of our lineup, and then it would change. So I don't know. We're just gonna have to play it by ear, trust in the Raptors and Bobby Webster and Messiah in spirit that they will make the decisions tonight that are best for the team. And if it seems like they're not playing people on purpose, and it seems like they're dumping the summer league and trying to win it, well, then that was what they meant to do, is what I'm saying. So I think you guys should have a strategy to try and win this, Bobby Webster and James Wade and the Raptors. I think you should, because in some ways it'll make us feel good, it'll look good, and honestly, give these kids some winning. Seriously, don't pull no punches. Put your best foot forward is what I'm asking you, Raptors, tonight. Let's not see DMPs on Jacoby Walter. Please, let's not see that. All right, let's check in with you guys in the chat and see what's going on this Tuesday morning in July. That's right. Trevor saying looks are never manufactured without the key, and God never gives the problem without a solution. Locks are never manufactured without the key. That's what he said, locks. Locks are never manufactured without the key, and God never gives the problem without a solution. Wow. Wow, that's deep. That's deep. So he's saying that for everything, there's always going to be a solution, and that God is providing it as the creator. It's just that we have to lock in on it and find it and utilize it. Amazing. Amazing. I like that mentality. And he's also saying that locks are never manufactured without a key. What if there are some locks that don't have keys? Well, you better get a lock buster or a pick artist. Pick that lock and get it open somehow. Maybe the key isn't always the standard key. Maybe there is a fabricated key that can unlock the lock also. Wow. Words of wisdom, Trevor J. Top notch today. That's right. Thank you, Trevor, for being the commissioner of fun and all the things you do to help my channel, man. Trevor's saying, happy game day. Let's win another one. Yeah, Trevor is in Vegas, guys. He is at the facilities in Vegas. He's been there all week, and he is taking in the games in person. He's getting the feel for the energy in the building. And, well, he's been having fun. These first two Summer League games have been a joy to be at, I'm sure. And, well, he's going to keep on going. This will be number 3. Denver Nuggets tonight. Golden State Warriors late on Thursday. Yeah, those are the next two. And then we'll have to see. The way Summer League usually works is they have the extra games on Saturday and then the championship games on Sunday. So here's the hope, and the Raptors will be playing Sunday for the Summer League championship. They've had most of the teams play. Some of the teams played 3 games already in the Summer League, and the Raptors are 2-0, but they have the highest point differential number right now at 23.5. The Spurs did win their 3rd game, and they are 3-0. But their point differential went down to 16.6 after the game last night. So like 5 teams have 3-0 records in Summer League right now. Charlotte Hornets, Sacramento Kings, LA Clippers, San Antonio Spurs, and Atlanta Hawks. Now, the Raptors need to beat the Nuggets tonight to get to 3-0. And because they have a good win percentage with a good point differential, they may be in a good seat to try and get to that championship game on Sunday in Las Vegas. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the championship game is on Sunday. From what they've done in the past, that's how it's worked. If you're kind of just playing your extra game, it may be on Saturday. And some games on Sunday also with the championship game. All right, let's see. Trevor's saying in the WNBA, wins for Minnesota beat the Sky, and Phoenix beat the Golden State Valkyries. Yeah, those are the 2 top teams in the WNBA that won yesterday. Minnesota Lynx, number 1 record by far in the WNBA this season. They really came out strong, and they haven't really let up. They've been sitting at the top of the league the whole year. Phoenix is 2nd, though, and doing quite well. I was looking at the standings just before I went on the air, and I'm shocked to see that the expansion Golden State Valkyries have the same exact record as the juggernaut Las Vegas Aces in this season right now at 10-11. Isn't that amazing that an expansion team has the same record as a team that looked like a crazy dynasty that was just going to run roughshod over the WNBA for years and years to come with Aja Wilson? But apparently the Aces have made poor decisions in their transactions and losing players like Clark and Plum and different people. And getting Jewel Lloyd wasn't the answer. because the Aces are in a bad place. Yeah, they are not at the level they usually are. Yeah, thank you for the WNBA update. And on that note, let's look at the refs. There are 2 games tonight. Indiana Fever will be at the Connecticut Sun. Isaac Barnett is the crew chief. Michael Price is the referee, and Claire Aubrey is the umpire. And the Mystics will be at the Sparks today. Ashley Gloss, crew chief. Ryan Sassano, the referee, and Kelsey Reynolds will be the umpire. You know, I noticed on Basketball Reference that they don't have a accumulation of the stats for the refs in the WNBA. So when the tempos start next year, I'm going to manufacture my own stat database on the referees' win percentages for the Toronto Tempo team. That information is not available to the public, but I am going to make my own database starting right from the start for the Tempo. So Teresa Resch, don't worry. I got you. I'm going to get ref report right for the Toronto Tempo. That's right. That's right. There you go. There you go. Let's keep going. Trevor J is reporting that Mark Cuban said yesterday that he wants the NBA to think about doing an NBA World Cup. Now, this is interesting. It's just like FIFA. It's just like the soccer stuff that they do. That FIFA World Cup is a very huge event that draws so many people and makes a lot of money. Well, Mark Cuban's a genius. And in some ways, he's echoing something that I was saying earlier this year, that, you know, everybody argues about who the real world champion of basketball is. You know, the world champion is not necessarily the NBA champion, because you can't say that for sure. The NBA champion is better than the EuroLeague champion or champions of other leagues around the world. And that it would be smart for the NBA to incorporate some sort of off-season tournament just for specific top teams in the NBA to go and play in a World Cup where the champions of other leagues around the world go also to a neutral site. Hopefully, it's probably not going to be U.S. I'll tell you that. You go somewhere, send the Oklahoma City Thunder somewhere in August to go play the champions of other teams, other leagues, and really determine which team in this world is actually the world champion. I think it would be a fantastic thing. I think it would be a huge event. I think that it would have a huge interest. It would bring the global brand of the NBA even further around there. And, you know, it would make things more bona fide. And we get more answers as far as who is the best league in the world and the best teams. NBA, you really think you're so confident on this? Well, let's put your money where your mouth is and go ahead and see what happens if there's an international NBA World Cup or just an international basketball World Cup where the NBA champion plays the champions of other major leagues around the world. That'd be fantastic. I love it. You don't have to have a whole lot of champions. You could really make it a small tournament. You could make it like the 4 top champions in the world and have just a 2-game tournament. And then you're not really overexerting the teams that come for this. But it could be hugely prestigious and very, very interesting and curious for the basketball world. You know, a lot of things could be figured out in this case. I mean, I advocated for this because I feel like it could easily be done. And Mark Cuban, he's crying out for it now. And that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Some people are getting confused with Olympics. No, we don't want the best Americans and the best Canadians and the best of countries. That's the Olympics. Why the fuck would we just duplicate the Olympics? No, this is taking the clubs. And this means Oklahoma City Thunder, Niagara River Lions of the CBL, which I don't know if that league is big enough. But if you want to have a field that's encompassing all territories, maybe you do put the CBL champion in there against them. You got the Australian champion. You got the EuroLeague champion. You got the Basketball Africa League champion. Then you put them all in what, an 8-team tournament. You know, that could just be very doable. And then you figure out exactly who the true world champion of basketball is. Yeah, I think Mark Cuban's got it here, Adam Silver, and you should be listening to him. Seriously, you should be listening to him. Forget about your NBA Europe idea. Do what Mark's saying. It'd be less work in some ways and probably make just as much money. I'm telling you right now, you go and try and do NBA Europe, you're going to lose a bunch of money. You're going to fail just like Vince McMahon and the XFL did. You're going to fail just like the World Football League that went over there with Barcelona Dragons and Birmingham Machine. That shit did not fly. It did not fly. I'm telling you right now, Europeans want to dictate their own sports, and they ain't going to be all about Adam Silver and the NBA coming over there telling them how to do basketball. Because honestly, they do basketball fine already. And they have all the loyalty in the world to their existing clubs right now. Why the fuck would they want NBA teams coming over there and having NBA Europe going on? You're crazy, Adam Silver. If you think you're going to go do that, you're going to lose a lot of money and you're going to have a big, huge failure on your resume as NBA commissioner. I'm telling you that right now. Don't even try and go that way. If you want to branch out internationally, Mark Cuban's idea is the best way for you to do it. Seriously, because NBA Europe will fail. I'm telling you right now, it will fail. It will not be more popular, everything. And especially with the way Donald Trump's running his country, people reject American stuff everywhere now. Everywhere. So this is not the time to try and do anything like I want to take over Europe and the NBA put us here. No, the Europeans will all reject it left and right, and you will lose money and you will fail like Vince McMahon with XFL. I'm telling you right now, you do that, you will fail. Seymour saying, man, Paul George can't catch a break. Actually, he is out after having arthroscopic surgery from off-season injury. Yeah, I read that this morning. I was like, oh, Paul George had a knee surgery this morning, arthroscopic surgery on his knee. Man, why didn't this motherfucker do this last season? You're doing it now. There's going to be a recovery. I feel like he's toying with the Sixers. Some of these players I don't really think are serious at all. And Paul George is definitely one of them. Definitely one of them. He hasn't been serious to me kind of since he was on the Pacers. Like, seriously, I don't feel like he's been a serious NBA player about being available or trying to win. And honestly, I know that may slap him in the face and be like, whoa, what are you saying, man? You don't have no idea what my life is like and all this. I'm just saying, this is the way it looks to me. I mean, are you robbing the Sixers right now, Paul George? Because that's what it feels like. You might as well put a little bandana around your nose because I feel like you're robbing the Sixers. And between you and Joel with your knees, it's great for a Raptors fan. We can laugh at this all day looking at it from the outside. Oh, yeah, we can laugh at this all day, man. Yeah, I don't feel bad for him, man. Let's see. These guys ain't never healthy. 76 chance of injury. Yeah, it's just how it is. Joel Embiid said something stupid recently. He said, I would never play for the Indiana Pacers. I'd rather retire than play for the Pacers. Well, motherfucker, you might be retired right now and you don't even know it. That's what I have to say to you, Joel. Seriously, I'd rather retire than play for the Pacers. Man, you are so close to being retired just on your health. So I would shut the fuck up if I was you. Seriously. And who's to say the Pacers would even want your big dummy ass? Anyway, seriously. I know you're going to say, oh, they don't even have a center right now. Of course they want me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want you in Toronto. If you were coming to Toronto, I'd be so pissed off. If the Raptors all of a sudden had acquired Joel Embiid, I would be so pissed. And you might be surprised how pissed Indiana fans would be if they got you too. So, yeah, don't act all high and mighty and like try and look down on the Pacers and say, I would rather retire than play for the Pacers. You're an idiot. You're half retired already. You don't even have any promise of playing next year for sure. Seriously, you're not even cleared yet, and you may not even play next year. So where the fuck are you talking from, Joel Embiid? Seriously, and what the fuck have you done with your career? Seriously, man. Seriously, yeah. Let's keep going. Seymour saying, imagine $53 million a season for the next 3 seasons. Fuck that. Fuck the Sixers. Yeah, playoff P to podcast P to PUPP. Yeah, you got one. You got one, Seymour. That was good, man. He went with some force at the rim with that one. he took that rim. He bent it. It was like one of those old high school rims where he bent it 90 degrees towards the ground and it popped back up after he did it. That's Seymour. That was that kind of dunk. That was good, man. I love that. He went from playoff P to podcast P to PUPP. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. 118 for the Sheriff, Seymour Pave on that one. That is really good, man. Yeah, I think he is robbing the Sixers. Seriously. Daryl Morey, that man is robbing you. He is robbing you. Troy Henry's in the house. Original Raptor Freak, Troy Henry. Good to see you, man. Good. It's been a little bit. Oh, boy, why am I feeling this good about the season for the boys? We're on to something special this NBA season. This was the plan all along. It's just coming along to the next stage, and it's exciting. Brandon Ingram is going to be a huge upgrade on our team in certain ways as far as what he's going to add to help us offensively. Like he said in his interview, the defense of the Raptors was really good. We had a really good defense in the second half of the season last year, and we're building off of that with this new frenetic attack, and it's very fun to watch. It's fun to see the Raptors mugging people for the basketball, and I'm here for it. And this really is kind of going to be our calling card this season. The players that we acquired this summer are fully for stealing the ball. And it's going to be a lot of fun, Troy Henry. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Raptors fans, stay positive, stay happy, In the post-Masai era, it's a little shaky, and I don't know if we can trust everything. But we have to try and strive for good, positive things to happen for us and be open to the space of it happening in. And don't be pessimistic. Don't be negative. Let's just go with the flow and how we feel and how we're looking at the team. And if there are bad things happening or things happen, God forbid, knock on wood, we will react to them. But let's focus on positive outcomes coming forward for the Raptors this season. And let's just go for the ride, guys. Let's see Brandon's promise come true. We're going to be in the playoffs this year, guys. I'm pretty sure, as long as we're healthy. And this is going to be a fun year, guys. I can feel it. We've had some tough years since the championship, sure. But this one may be very, very fun for us, guys, especially with the weakened Eastern Conference. That's what I'll say to that. That's right. Seymour saying, yes, it's like the Air 2025, 2026 champion. Yeah, 2025, 26 champion. Yeah, the Air champions. What? The Air champions? What? I kind of understand what he's saying. Let's see. Fiercey saying, good morning, fam, and happy game day. Let's ball tonight. There you go, MJ. Yeah, it's time to ball. Hito Turkoglu. That's right. It's time to ball. Yeah. What do you think, Hito? Ball. Okay. Thank you. Great moments in Raptors history. Yeah. It's time to ball. Let's go ball. That's right. That's right. Ball it out. That's right. Seymour loves the eye candy. Always giving the thumbs up to Miss MJ. That's right. At this point, Paul George could just retire. Yeah. Too bad he's not on top. That would have been a better send-off. Yeah. Nah, I mean, like I said, I don't know what happened to him. Where is the Paul George of Indiana Pacers from early in his career? That guy was something. Seriously, what happened to him? Maybe he figured out the grift. Maybe he figured out, hey, I'm on easy street. I'm a made bona fide NBA player. I'm respected by my peers, and I can make millions of dollars, and I don't necessarily have to try anymore. I feel like that's what's happening. I feel like that's what's been happening with him for a while. He's been grifting. I feel like it. He grifted right away. As soon as Kawhi summoned him to LA, he started grifting then. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to grift. I'm grifting. I think he was trying in Oklahoma City. And then the grift was on when he got traded for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Maybe there was some sort of weird passing in that transaction where Gilgeous-Alexander got all of the competition and wanting to do things in the NBA from Paul George passing by on the planes going from Oklahoma City to LA and vice versa. Maybe that's what happened. As his SGA's got a lot of what Paul George lacks. He really does. He has almost. Maybe he took all of his in spiritual way or symbolic way. He took it all from George, and George sat next to Kawhi and was on the Clippers, and it was kind of like we're all talented. Somebody do something. Nobody's doing anything. Now we're ruined as players. Oh, Kawhi's ruined. James is ruined. Paul George is ruined. Russell's ruined. We're just ruined as players. We're washed to a level lower than what we used to be because we got on the same team and we wanted to make it easy. You know, Brooklyn Nets, LA Clippers, Phoenix Suns. You wanted to be on the same team and make it easy. And y'all washed yourselves down a couple levels of being really top tier players in the NBA. A lot of those names I just named right now. Yeah, I feel like that. It'd be better if you were on a team and you're by yourself and the franchise player and you had to carry and you'd be hard pressed to be trying harder to help your team win because you're the only one there to help them win, Kawhi Leonard. But no, you had to have a safety blanket. I'm going to LA to go home. Uncle Dennis told me to. And I need friends that will play with me so I can be lazy. And Paul George and Russell Westbrook have to be with me too. I mean, that's what happened right there. These guys conspired to get together like South Beach. And they conspired to get lazy and hurt is what it seems like at this point, man. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Seymour saying Jonas has reported to the Nuggets camp. Told y'all they would send Bond to get him. Yeah, I still hate this. Fuck the Nuggets. Fuck you, Nuggets. Yeah, I'm not with you on this, Kareem. Fuck the Nuggets for not letting Jonas do what he wants to do. Yeah, this makes me mad because in some ways it's like people should have freedom in their lives. And if you want to rip up a $10 million contract and go to Greece, he should be allowed to do it. That's what I would say right there. Let's keep going. Yeah, I'm not going to change my opinion on that. I'm fully on. This is one of the cases where I'm on the players' side completely. I'm team-oriented when it comes to the Raptors. I'll pick the team over the players. But when it's a Raptor player out like this afterwards, in the history of the Raptors, a great like Jonas Valanciunas, I'm on Jonas' side solely. And he wanted to go to Greece. He don't want to play in the United States. It's a dumpster fire of MAGA America. And I hate this. I absolutely hate this, Kareem. Don't act like they got James Bond to go get him. No, this is a horrible thing. And I'm sad for Jonas because he should be able, life is short. He should be able to make his own life decisions. And them strong arming him to come and play when he doesn't want to be there, well, that's tacky. That is tacky, is what I'll say that right there. Yeah. Fiercely saying, I was annoyed when we let Koloko walk. We did the same for Carton and Harper Jr., but more than ever, it solidifies how our front office is smart and won't invest or put themselves in deficit with injured players. Yeah, I mean, Carton and Harper Jr. is sad, and Marquise Noel too. These guys all had different injuries, but they're at a level where it's like, well, we can just kind of filter through and try and find the next guy that's at that level. And that's just how it goes. That's why you can't get hurt. I mean, even Jared Rhoden, we can make the argument that he's gone from our team just recently, partly because of his injury problems at the end of the year, and maybe even still lingering injuries this offseason, not ready to go for Summer League. So, because you see, Jared Rhoden's not on anybody's Summer League roster right now. So it could very well be Jared Rhoden was not able to participate this summer, and that's part of the reason why they cut him as a two-way a month ago. So, I get this. And I mean, the thing with Koloko sucks because in some ways, I know the blood clot thing is happening to people more and more. And in fact, Wemby just got cleared from it like in the last couple of days. But it really, really held him up in a bad way. And it really screwed up his future with us. And, man, it's sad. It's sad. I wonder what would have happened if Koloko hadn't had that medical condition and he could have just gone through his career solidly with the Raptors, developing it, maybe still be around. Where would he be as a player right now at this point? We can only wonder, but it's the way it is. And unfortunately, that man was robbed of a year of his NBA career, and it really set him back extremely badly. It may be a big cautionary tale about Christian Koloko and this whole situation with him like this. Now, other players have had the blood clot issue, and they haven't missed a beat, like Victor, like the Thompson twin that had it. And their development and what they're doing with their teams, it seems like it's all on track still, but it really wrecked Koloko's career. Really, really wrecked Koloko's career. It was bad. It is bad. Yeah, Sixers are stupid. Yeah, I love that. You want a dunk? You can get a dunk. That speaks to my hearts, Fiercey, right there. Sixers are stupid. I agree. 86 for you on the dunk charts. Yes, that's a very simple dunk. That's like just a dunk in. It's a little simple dunk. Trevor's saying WNBA All-Star game this weekend coming up. Yes, for our fantasy WNBA league, there's a little bit of a weird week this week where it's broken up. There's only a couple of days of games today, yesterday, and tomorrow, and then they go on All-Star break. And we're going to have a break in this matchup, and it'll resume, and we'll play another whole week. So there's like 9 days in this current matchup week for our WNBA week. And I am playing Race Mode Daily, and I'm slightly beating him right now. Kaz has a big lead over Logical Raptors Fanatic. Fiercey is beating Kareem. Cool Cat is beating JP. And Meredith is beating James. And it's the early one night after one night of action in this week of action. So, yeah, make sure you hang with it because this is a long 2-week period of matchup right now with what's going on right here. That's right. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. Fiercey saying Connecticut Suns in a bad place. But looking at some games, they're hooping and extremely talented. They remind me of our team last season, and I'm hoping they keep their new head coach, give him a chance. Cool. Yeah. I mean, next year, I'm thinking tempo, man. Where will we fit into the hierarchy of the WNBA? I don't want to be the last team. I don't want to be the worst team. I'd like to be somewhere in the middle or near the top. That'd be fantastic. We'll just have to see. A lot of it will have to do with the expansion draft and maybe our first ever draft pick, our coach. It's going to be very exciting. I really can't wait for Toronto Tempo. There's so much to look forward with it. And it's going to be really cool to be in the start from the ground running with this team. Everybody who wants to get on board with the Tempo at the ground level, well, we can because this franchise is going to start brand new next year. And don't miss getting on the ground level right from the start. You can say you're an original Tempo fan in the years to come. Just like some of us say about being a Raptors fan, original Raptors fan from 94, that's right. 94, because we didn't have a name when I was a fan of the team, just like I was a fan of the Tempo before they had a name already also. So yeah, get on the ground floor with the Tempo next year, basketball fans in Canada. That's right. It's the time, and it's coming really soon. It's going to be a year. Next season will go by in the NBA, and boom, we're going to be right into a WNBA Toronto tempo, and it's going to be fantastic. I'm looking so forward to it. Trucker Kaz is here on a Tuesday morning with me. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freak crew. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Smooth is saying, Seymour Pape, did he go to Vegas, JV, or is the trade official? Either way, it sounds like he's reported, and that may be just because that's the legalities of what he has to do. Jonas is not a dick. Jonas is an easygoing guy. He's smart too. And if his agent's advising him, well, look, we have a verbal agreement with Greece, and we're not, but the Nuggets aren't letting us out of the contract. You're going to have to go because, you might as well get the money if you're going to have to be, they're not going to do this. You might as well do what they say. So he may be doing this just because his agent's advising him to. And it's smart business to make sure, well, if he's not going to be able to go to Greece to do what he really wants, well, he'll go ahead and kowtow to the Nuggets while he's still there and, begrudgingly be there for a year. Seriously, does that sound like that's good? Seriously, Kareem, does that sound like that's good? He begrudgingly stays there for a year just because the Nuggets forced him. I would just let him go and use that money to go get somebody else right now. I mean, if you do this fast enough, you may still be able to get Al Horford, but the time is ticking. I would fucking just cut Jonas loose and let him do what he wants to do with his life and go and get somebody else from the free agency market fast. I mean, y'all could get Chris Boucher, y'all could get Precious, and y'all could reunite that DX tag team on the Nuggets, and I would love it. Get Achua and Boucher to be helpful in there. I mean, they're former Raptors. You could get that former Raptor feel on your team with Jonas Valanciunas or with Chris Boucher and Precious Achua. I'm just saying some of these big men that are on the market, if you lose Jonas, you might want to go ahead and get somebody soon. But no, Nuggets are going to strong arm him, make him be there. Yeah, that's not nice. That's not right in some ways. The man don't want to be here. He doesn't mind ripping up $10 million. You should let him. It's a free country. It's a free world, right? It used to be a free country in the States, at least when I remember. I don't think it is anymore. Let's keep going. Monica's saying, happy game day, Raptor Freak crew. Less turnovers this game in the first quarter. Must clean up on the offensive end, please. So this is Mo's coach's tips for today's game. Less turnovers. And that is definitely what James Wade said after the game. We got to take care of the ball better and limit our turnovers. We were similar to their turnover total, but they still had way more. But still, we were getting up there, plus 20 turnovers for the Raptors in the last game. Ugly. Clean it up and really covet the ball and protect it and take care of it like a baby. That's right. That's what you got to do right there for sure. Fiercely saying at Troy Henry, I feel the same. Have a great feeling about this team this upcoming season. The vibes are way different from the Nick Nurse final years. Team synergy, cohesiveness, positivity, and togetherness. Yep. That's all happening with the Raptors. Thank God. And I love it, man. Coach Darko has done such a good job for team unity. In fact, let's go look at the Instagram stories real quick because there's some fun stuff on there. First of all, we'll start with Chris. I'm sad because, he's posting some cryptic messages on his Instagram stories. He's posting Travis Scott songs, Don Toliver talking about how he's a champion. And he's also posting this. He's saying, I try every day to not act like Kanye. Because, in some ways, he's probably going a little bit crazy in his head right now, waiting to see what's going to happen and where he's going to land, if he is going to land somewhere or how it's going to happen. And, it's got to be stressful. But I keep telling myself, Al Horford hasn't landed somewhere yet. There's, you may be hearing more about Al Horford in the news because he's just a name and a former Celtic. But, Boucher and all the dealings going on with him are happening behind the scenes, too. And it's just we haven't heard the announcement yet for him. But there are quite a few players that are still kind of out there in limbo, kind of waiting to see where they're going to land and what's going to happen. And we'll see how it all goes down, how it shakes out. If Al Horford's still out there waiting, well, Chris can be too. So he's also got this. This lady's asking, when someone asks me how I balance work and life, and his answer is basically, I don't. I can't balance them. I'm tired all the time. That's what he's saying right now with what's going on with him. Yeah, it's crazy. I feel bad for Chris, but whatever's going to happen, man, I wish you well. The new chapter and your life and everything, you're going to be a badass either way, and always a Raptors legend. Always a Raptors legend. We love you, Chris. You are a Canadian Raptor and a Canadian Raptor champion, and that's a huge, huge thing. Kelly Olynyk's eating dumplings. Of course, this man's somewhere taking pictures of food. That's what Kelly does. It's like he's a basketball player and he's a food photographer. And that is what he is. Oh, he's got little cones of, it looks like roe. Man, he's got the little sushi cones. And here we go. He's at Summer League, guys. And guess who he's watching? He's watching the Spurs play because he is a San Antonio Spur now. And guess who's with Kelly at the Summer League and walking into his frame? That's right, the long-armed alien man named Victor Wembanyama. So, yeah, Kelly's with Victor at the Summer League, sitting and watching the game with his new teammates, Scotty Barnes, all over TSN and other places because at Vegas, well, he's living his best life. And this time he's on stage with the Chainsmokers. And these guys are DJing it up with the lights and the pumping music. And Scotty's getting hyped. Scotty's doing that fist pump. Boom, 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 boom. And yeah, he's just living his best life. He's on stage with them, and they announced, and Scotty Barnes is here with us. And everybody went, whoa! And Scotty's just having a party. He's just having a blast, man. It's good to see Scotty having the best life. Let's see. Colin Murray Boyles is putting on blast. Some guy who plays baseball for West Virginia. I'm not sure what this guy's name is. Oh, he got drafted. That's what it is. He got drafted into the MLB draft this weekend. So he must be a friend of his who plays baseball. He's got drafted to the Red Sox. Boo, boo. Pascal Siakam was at Summer League, and he's marveling at this crazy dunk that Johnny Furpey did on Noah Senge. He dunked it right on his head. It's pretty nasty, honestly. The experts are saying Noah Senge is definitely a project. And the Bulls have already kind of declared that they're not expecting him to do much for them this year. You know what, Raptors? We almost drafted Noah Senge, right? Y'all want ESPN wanted to draft Noah Senge? Well, he's a project. He wouldn't even help us this year because that's what's happening with him and the Bulls. So I'm thank God we didn't draft him because honestly, he's not going to be doing anything this year to be helpful. And Colin Murray Boyles will be helpful from what I saw in his debut at Summer League. That's right. They're saying happy birthday to whose birthday is it? Is it AJ Lawson's birthday today? Oh my gosh. All right. I'm gonna have to add him to the birthday list. I did not know that. Why didn't I have AJ Lawson's birthday on the birthday list? So the Raptors First So I'm In has put it up already. Thank you for catching that and letting me know. I don't know why I had not put AJ on there. Of all the people in the world I should be having on the birthday list right now is AJ Lawson. In fact, I want to talk about something with AJ Lawson in just a second with you guys. So AJ's birthday is today. So it's the 15th. All right. We'll write him on in there now. AJ Lawson, happy birthday. You're on the birthday list now, my guy. That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, AJ's birthday is getting wished for Raptors. Let's keep going in the Instagram stories. I'll finish them up real quick. Andrew Jones has got his son doing pull-ups on the diving board. And also the Raptors staff, coaches and staff went on a kayaking expedition in Nevada. This weekend. And they're showing them out there, Coco and Vin Bagnani and James Wade and Mike Batiste out in the kayak in the river, taking in the sights of the desert and different formations. And it looks like it was a really fun time. It's one of these bonding fun things that people do. Was Darko there too? I don't know. It's like the coaching staff was there. We see the assistant coaches, but I don't know if the other guys were there. I'm not totally sure. The team was not there. I know that. Norman Powell's adjusting to being a Miami Heat. There he is with the picture with him with Coach Spoelstra. So Coach Spoelstra looks real happy to see him there. And the grind is here for South Beach and the Heat culture. The grind is added now. So that's pretty cool. And Norman's telling a story on a podcast in the last couple of days that he, in his third year on the Raptors, in the offseason, he worked out too much in the offseason. He did like 3 workouts before noon that summer, every single day. And he said when he got into training camp with the other guys, he was burnt out. And he really learned something about don't go too hard with the grind in the offseason. You have to measure yourself and kind of balance it. So kind of cool to hear that little story from Norman about like hitting a wall because he just overworked himself in the offseason. And when the season came, he was in a bad place. Emmanuel Quickly has posted this on his Instagram. I don't trust anyone who sits window seat on the plane and keeps the window open. Now, does that mean like the window, like with the air coming in, or you mean the shade? I think he means the shade. Why do you not trust someone who likes to have the window open so they can look out? Is it because you want that light shut out? I don't know what's going on here, Emmanuel. You mean the window open like the plane has a depressurizing situation? Is that what you mean? I wouldn't trust that person either if they had the window open in the plane. Yeah, I guess is that a funny joke? I'm not even sure if he's totally being serious, and it has to do with the shade. And maybe he doesn't trust people that sleep on the plane with the shade open. That may be what it is. I think that might be what it is. I'm not totally sure. Tempo are welcoming the Portland Fire. I guess they named the team, and they're not going to be the Portland Roses. That was too easy. They're going to be the Portland Fire. So Portland Fire, and they've got a new logo. The WNBA expansion team is coming in with the Tempo is the Portland Fire, and their colors are red and black. And there's a very interesting like fire logo for them. So they've named their team finally. The other team there. There's Ulrich Shamshay posted himself in action at Summer League. We're going to see him again tonight. There's AJ Lawson with the birthday countdown for his birthday yesterday. That's pretty cool. So yeah, AJ's having a good birthday week. He's the coach's player of the game. And the thing I wanted to tell you about him is I'll tell you in a sec. AJ Lawson has his camp on August the 11th in Brampton. It's his youth basketball camp, and it's $120 per person. It's going to be at 1495 Sandalwood Parkway East in Brampton at the Save Max Sports Center. And it's for 7 through 11 kids, 12 through 15 kids also in the afternoon. And it's a skill building camp. So if you're interested in going to AJ Lawson's youth basketball camp, youngsters, well, it's coming up August 11th. That's where you got to go find it. There's Bruno Fernando with a funny picture. He said on the coach's kayaking trip, how many of y'all fell in the water out of the boats? That's funny. Jay Shed is putting on blast. The Triple J's is what Wubb's calling Jamal, Jacoby, and Jonathan. And well, I'm wondering, you don't want to do quad J's? What happened? Did Jamison Battle get nutmegged? And now you're kind of like, yeah, you're out on the J's, man. I don't know. I don't like this in some ways, but I also like the Triple J's are a good nickname. But what about Jamison is what I would say there. What about Jamison? There is Jonathan with his brother and other people. There he is signing a bunch of autographs at Summer League, signing some basketball, signing some things. Jonathan's just really a well-grounded pro, and I'm really, really excited for Mobo and the things that are happening. He's playing some game, and he won. I think he's playing some sort of golf game, and he's the final leader, and he's talking trash to his friends. He's saying, y'all are trash. You're no good. I'm the tops at top scorer. So there you go. Wubbs posting the Triple J's. Yeah, this is maybe becoming a thing. Dogs for Life is what he's playing. DMX, the song is playing. There you go. So yeah, he's really into the Summer League right now, and he's put on blast the coach's player of the game, AJ Lawson, also, and he's calling him Lawson with the ninja Law. He calls him Law, and there he is in an elevator with his friend, taking an artsy picture off the ceiling. Raptors 905 will have a camp also, much like AJ Lawson. It's August the 18th to the 22nd, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and it will be at the Humber College Athletic Building in Etobicoke, 205 Humber College Boulevard. And yeah, register now. If you're interested, it's $300 for the camp for the Raptors 905. Now, the thing I want to talk about with AJ Lawson is statistically, he is the best player at Summer League and after 2 games of Summer League. That's right. There is a list. I'm looking at it from Reddit. The Raptors ranked at Summer League, and AJ has the best rating out of all the players at Summer League at 29.65. That's pretty impressive. The second best Raptor at Summer League right now statistically is Ulrich Shamshay, 31st best player at the Summer League right now. But AJ's number 1. He's the best player statistically at the Summer League right now, guys. Isn't that amazing? That man needs to make the team. Rounding out, I'll go over the rankings right here. Number 1, AJ Lawson. Number 31, Ulrich Shamshay. Number 40, Jonathan Mobo. Number 92, Jamal Shed. Number 129, Jacoby Walter. Number 153, Elijah Martin. 170, Jamison Battle. 201, Chucky Hepburn. 205, Colin Murray Boyles. Yeah, and that's where I won't go into the rest of them. But yeah, that's where they're ranking. And it's really cool to see that AJ Lawson is statistically the best player at Summer League so far. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. There's your Instagram stories for today. Happy birthday, AJ Lawson. You're the best player at Summer League. I love that. I love that so much. Fiercely saying, Mbozo would rather retire than play with the last year's finals contender. Okay. Yeah, he's an idiot. And in some ways, that says all you need to say about Joel Embiid right there. He's an idiot. In some ways, I really question how smart he is. Seriously, he doesn't seem like a very smart guy. Seymour saying, Paul George and Gordon Hayward suffered the same injury and were both pumped up like they were going to make a comeback. They both should have been in retirement homes. Yeah. I mean, Gordon Hayward never really made it back, did he? No, he had a little bit of time, and he's still trying? I don't even know. Is he still in the league, or did he retire? Did he just say, "Yeah, that's it"? Man, it is what it is. At least you got a podcast, Paul. At least you got a podcast. That's right. Fiercely saying it, Seymour, laugh out loud in reference to the PG-13 jab. No, that was good. That was real good. Seymour, like with authority, he bent the rim down and popped back up on that one. That's right. Smooth is bringing up a sad story. Good morning to you, Reggie, our current Raptor Freak trivia champion. Rest in peace, Jim Clancy. Second winningest pitcher in Blue Jays history. 12 of his 15 seasons were here in Toronto. 1977 to 1988, 89, 90. Houston, 91, and Atlanta. Now, this is the thing, that he was like an original Blue Jay in some ways, because that's when the Blue Jays started, was in 77. And he was with the Blue Jays for like their first, 13 years of their existence. So, yeah, he's a pretty ensconced, important, historic Blue Jay pitcher, Jim Clancy. And it's sad to hear that he's passed away in the last couple days. So rest in power, rest in peace, Jim Clancy. Blue Jays, great and legend in some ways. He is a very important person in their history for sure, Jim Clancy. Yeah, I was sad to see that yesterday when I saw that, Reggie. And I'm glad you mentioned it here today. I am. Trevor's saying SGA did what Westbrook and Kevin Durant and George brought championship to Oklahoma. Yeah, he did what they couldn't do. Yeah, and in some ways it's really impressive because, man, I know they were young and they became better after Oklahoma City. But, man, if you think about it, that team in Oklahoma City at that time was Durant, Westbrook, Harden, Serge Ibaka, Kendrick Perkins. It was a very interesting Thunder team, and they were challenging for stuff, and they should have stuck together in some ways and done stuff. But Kevin took off and went to Golden State. And, stuff like that. It's just stupid. They didn't hold on to Harden long enough either, in my opinion. I think that James Harden, if he had stayed on the Thunder, may have been a better player in the long run. I think he got all screwed up in Houston because he started playing just for himself. But if he had stayed in the team environment of the Thunder with some pretty good players next to him, like Westbrook and Durant, we may have seen a whole different kind of evolution to James Harden as more of a team-oriented player. We can only imagine what that would have been because we didn't get that. And things happened in a totally different way. Yeah. Fiercely saying thank you to Kareem for not setting up your league yesterday. Nafisia Collier dropped 50 fantasy points, but she wasn't on your roster. There you go, Kareem Thomas. There you go. That's why you got to check every day. You did not play Collier yesterday, and she dropped 50 fantasy points. Woo-hoo! Fiercely is very happy about that. Very, very happy about that. Troy Henry saying, wonder what AJ has in store for us later. That boy put some real work in for the offseason. He's cooking. And I'm loving every second of it. Loving every minute of it. Loving every minute of it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right, Mike Reno and Loverboy. That's right. Canadian content, a high content here in the Raptor Freak channel, CRTC. That's right. I sang my Canadian song for today. Loverboy. Loving every minute of it. Loving every minute. All right. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Troy Henry. I'm really happy for AJ because he's on the cusp of the team. He's not bona fide for sure on the Raptors roster for this year. And, well, he needs to be that Jameson Battle last year. He needs to be that Jeffrey Doughton Jr. a couple years ago in Summer League that just outshines everybody and is the one, yeah, we got to put a pin in it. This is the guy we got to hold on to for this year for sure. In a way, it's weird because AJ's a fifth-year player. And at this point, you would think it'd be easier to be more ensconced. And often the player that's like this is like Battle. And he's coming in as an undrafted. He's trying to make a case at this, but this guy's a known quantity. But that's why, in some ways, I feel like we need to keep him because the experience and the smartness and the ability to mold his game to what we want. There's no ego with AJ Lawson. He could easily play on a team and shoot 30 shots and just be the man and go crazy, but that's not what he's here to do. He understands it's about speed, quickness, and steals. And then, if he's going to get shots, well, he better make them. Because we can't have a high quantity shooter that's not making quality. And, well, that's maybe the biggest change I'm seeing from him in Summer League. If you looked at A.J. Lawson at this time last year, he'd take like 25 shots and make maybe like 9 or 10 of them. And this year, well, last game he went 5 for 5, and he didn't miss a single damn shot. So that's the thing. The improvement that I'm seeing is that he's not wasting opportunities by taking a lot of quantity. He's fitting in, and he's high quality in less quantity, which is great. He can still score 20 points on only 5 shots. on goal. He took 5 shots and he scored 20 points. A lot of it was at the free throw line. Yeah, I'm totally loving this too, Troy Henry. I'm really loving it. I love the birthday boy today. Yeah, I want to see him excel tonight too. We'll see. He may be getting the yank from playing tonight because he's just at that level. It could be very well that Darko and Bobby and other people have said, we've seen enough, AJ. You did a great job. And you know what? We're more likely to guarantee you now. But we can't for sure right now because we've got to go to preseason and training camp and you have to continue to show the high level of excellence. But you've mastered Summer League and you are the man at this domain. And it really does make you look good for going in for the battle for the last roster spot on the Raptors this year. So that's what we're talking about right there. That's right. It's big time. Kareem saying, I was so furious that I wasn't able to change my lineup on time. That's just what I'm saying. That's the tough thing, man. The buzzer runs out. The games start, and you can't put Collier in, maybe the best player in the league. You didn't put your best player in your lineup. Oh, my gosh, Kareem. What are you doing with your life? I know. He's probably walking back from the Northwest Territory. That's why. He's like on his phone. He's like, oh, damn it. Why did I change it? Oh, man. Let's see. Fiercey saying Jonas is a professional, but if he chooses not to play hard, they may release him earlier. I don't know if he's going to choose to not play hard. I don't know. These guys can – how do you even gauge this in today's NBA? How do you know if guys are playing hard or not? I mean, I see A.J. Lawson playing hard. I see R.J. Barrett playing hard in a Raptors jersey. I mean, it depends. Some guys, you know, you can tell if they're playing hard or not, I guess. I don't know. Jonas – we'll just have to see how it goes. He's such an easygoing guy. He's going to roll with the punches and do what he has to, even if he doesn't want to. And, well, if he has to play for the Nuggets this year, he'll play for the Nuggets. We're going to see them tonight. You know, I wonder if Jonas will be at courtside at the game with Nikola. Doubtful. Is Nikola even in Vegas right now? I doubt it. I doubt that man came to support his team and sit there. Yeah, I've been hearing overtures that Nikola's not happy with the Nuggets and he wants to leave. Y'all heard this? Seriously. And Raptors fans get on Reddit and they start saying, doesn't Nikola Jokic have a relationship with Darko Rajakovic? I don't know. Getting Nikola Jokic on the Raptors, it would be cool in some ways, but I don't know how likely it is. But hey, who knows? Maybe it is likely because maybe Nikola is another European player that's like, I don't want to live in a fascist country like a United States, and I'd rather go play for the Canada team. I don't know. Oh, the coach is a good friend of mine? Oh, that's even a bonus. But I'm hearing overtures. You know, I think that Jokic and Giannis are both going to want to leave their teams next summer. I'm going to predict this right now because both their teams are going to be miserable teams this year. They're going to be middling teams to maybe even shitty teams is what I'm seeing. You know, Bucks fans, y'all should not be happy about your front office and what they've been doing. They are bringing in really not very good players, honestly, in my opinion. Gary Trent, I love the guy, but he has his pluses and negatives. And I don't want to sully him, but I'll sully Kevin Porter Jr. I'll sully Kyle Kuzma. I'll sully the changes you made, like losing Brook Lopez. That's huge right there. Giannis has never played without Brook Lopez his whole entire career. This is going to be a change, and he's not going to like the change. Trust me. So get ready for Antetokounmpo to be like, I want to get the fuck out of Milwaukee next summer. I gave y'all the benefit of the doubt, and y'all are getting worse and worse. Kyle Kuzma, really? Kyle Kuzma, really? And I'm telling you, Jokic may be similar in Denver because I do not think the Nuggets are going to be good this year. And they're going to be worse, and they're going to seem like they're sliding further away from their championship year. And Nikola may be like, yeah, I'm not about being here anymore. I'm telling you, I feel like this is the energy coming for both the Bucks and the Nuggets franchises right now. I know that some people may not like to hear this, but it's just how it is. Both these teams won championships like we did in the last 6 years. And both these teams have had their teams taken apart and stripped of parts. Some of it on purpose, like the Bucks, and some of it not, like the Nuggets and like us. And you know what? That's just how it goes. You get to the top, you get the pinnacle, and things are not as good after a couple of years after. You get like, well, what the fuck am I doing here? Wasting my time. We're not getting anywhere again now. And, you know, that's when big, huge, high-level stars demand trades like Nikola Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's see if this prediction that I just made today on July the 15th is going to be like what it's going to be like next year. And you'll be like, oh, Raptors Freak did say this last summer, that Giannis and Jokic would both want to leave their teams. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. Fiercely saying, sending positive vibes to Chris. The uncertainty is probably killing him, and he just wants to get it set and done. In some ways, he's also going through the goodbyes and the sadness. I mean, it can't be easy for him to see the Raptors team at the Summer League like he would be there the last couple of years, sitting with them. And he's not there. That obviously means he's not a Raptor anymore, guys, and he's moving to a next chapter. Most saying Raptors coaching staff went kayaking. Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? They're always doing fun stuff like that. It's always cool to see that. Kareem saying, welcome home, number 17, Jonas Valanciunas. Now he's just trolling. He's just trolling. I'm pro Jonas in this situation. I'm sorry. I have no affinity for the city of Denver like Kareem Thomas does. Monique is saying happy birthday to AJ Lawson. That's a special birthday wish. AJ Lawson, you getting a birthday wish from the super fan Monique Lawrence, the greatest. That is fantastic. I love that. I love that so much. Some Raptors fans got to do the Raptors experience for a day yesterday, similar to me. Salute to Mo, Pete, and Jamal. Yeah, there was a little bit of MLSE doing Raptors a fan for the day or something like that. And Morris Peterson was there, Jamal McGlure, Mariah Amber. Yeah, those are kind of cool little events. And yeah, I just saw that on the Instagram for a second there. Very, very cool. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Game day. That's right. Get our game day faces on. I feel like this will be a game where, you know, if we just follow the script and continue to do what we do, we're going to create and derive opportunities for scoring in transition and hopefully easy win somehow, some way. I thought the last game was too close, and it was really to blame for the poor offensive output of the Raptors, poor free throw shooting, lots of turnovers, that we would have ran away with them. On them, if we had made our free throws and just taken care of the ball a little bit better, would have been a 20-point route against the Magic. But, you know, let's see it happen tonight. You got to, if you guys play better on offense and improve from the last game, Coach Wade will be smiling. That's what he said. He wants to see that. Dan Rose here. Good to see Dan Rowe back in the chat once again. Clancy is the third most winningest pitcher in Blue Jays history. Steve, Holiday, Clancy. Rest in peace, Jim Clancy. Those are heavy, big time pitching names in the Blue Jays history right there. Dave Steve. Wow. Dave Steve, 80s ace for the Blue Jays. He's somebody I went and saw play at Exhibition Stadium way back when I was a kid. And yeah, Dave Steve is big time. And then, of course, probably the greatest pitcher in the history of the Blue Jays, Roy Halladay. Yeah, he's just a Cy Young winner and just an amazing top-level pitcher. And we love Roy Halladay. And, of course, very sad the tragic death of him in the stunt plane accident off the coast of Florida at way too young of an age. So yeah, that wow. So those statistically are the top three. I mean, I would have thought Halladay for sure. Steve, I was kind of figuring, yeah, just because of his longevity and what he did for the Blue Jays in the middle of the 80s. And well, Jim Clancy. All right, that's a big three right there. Cool Cat saying I have to congratulate Bronny on his game last night. He leaves the court, the team's losing. He comes back, the team catches up. Kid worked hard despite the pressure. I respect his work ethic. Yeah, I'm not really paying attention to this, but I can go look at this real quick if you want. I'll go look at the Summer League stats from yesterday, and let's look at Bronny. I did not watch the game or anything like that. And I don't know. The Bulls did win yesterday against the Pacers in Summer League, so they got things going a little bit better. Buzelis with 28 points in that game. All right, where's the Laker game? Okay, it was against the Clippers. Now, this is just a sad score, Cool Cat. I don't know how you could be too excited about this. I mean, the score was 67-58. That is really, really bad. Really, really bad. Both teams shooting really shitty. The Lakers actually shot 35% and won. That's 35% from field goal, not from three-pointer. Bronny got 17 points on 6 of 10 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers. And Koloko, 8 points, 4 of 5 shooting, 3 blocks, 3 steals, 3 rebounds. And Cole Schwider, 16 points. So he's right there with Bronny. Bronny led the team just by 1 point, but Cole Schwider's there with 6 of 14. This is a garbage game. These two teams should be embarrassed, honestly. 67-58, that's a high school score. I'm sorry. That's a high school score. I wouldn't be feeling too good about this. I mean, because honestly, the Lakers scored 67 points. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I can't give love to Bronny. I'm sorry. You're welcome to. You go ahead. Seymour saying, ain't no sun in Connecticut. They should have been named the Cloud. That's, man, Seymour, you're funny. All right. They shouldn't have called them the Connecticut Sun. They should call them Connecticut Cloud. That's pretty good. All right, Seymour Pape, you're getting another funny joke. Funny joke. 121 for Seymour, the sheriff. That is pretty funny. All right, let's keep going. Trevor's saying Las Vegas sports Raptors have the best defense for summer league games they haven't seen for a long time. Well, in some ways, we are it's not that we cheated, it's just that we had this forecasted because of the continuity in our lineup. We have a bunch of guys from last year playing on our summer league that know how to play off each other. And in some ways, that's a real advantage in summer league where a bunch of random miscast guys are thrown together that have barely played with each other. It's a huge ace up our sleeve that we have continuity, that we have a lot of second-year players. We have contract players on our team. So we can actually, under James Wade, put certain levels of team play together because the guys are familiar with each other better than most of the other summer league teams. So, yeah, I love it. I love it. And that is a big reason why we have the best defense at summer league is because our guys are unselfish and they know each other. Meanwhile, everybody else is fighting for scraps in the NBA. They're not feeling comfortable about things and they're selfish and they're not going to play off each other like a team like the Raptors are. So that's a big part of it right there. We're all for one for all in our philosophy under Darko anyway. But there also is a lot of non-stress on most of our team because they're already set in their spots and where they're going for the season. Other teams, they're worried about making the team or making a rotation spot. And there may be selfishness on the download on most of the summer league rosters because they're looking at the other guys competing with them to get something. How the hell do you have a team environment in that way? Well, the Raptors can't because of our situation. And that's a big difference right there. Smooth saying Jonas really wanted to go to Greece. I think he's checked out mentally on Denver. He's in autopilot now. We'll just have to see how it goes. We'll monitor the situation with Valanciunas this season for sure. He's Raptors alumni, and we love him. And we're going to monitor him. He's a Raptor-related subject because of his great long career playing for the Raptors, his early part of his career. So, yeah, Jonas, we got your back no matter what, Raptors freaks. That's right. We got your back. Cool Cat saying, I want every player from the Chip era to continue to be successful. I was hoping Boucher would make the move the same time frame with OG and Siakam was traded. The writing was on the wall. I mean, in some ways, look, he's leveraging his best decisions for every situation. And the last time he did a contract with us, that was a really good contract he got with us. He got rewarded by us. In some ways, there was no guarantee he'd ever make over $10 million a year in the NBA. Let's just put it that way. And well, there probably is no way he's going to make over $10 million a year in the NBA at this point because it's just gone. And you can blame CJ McCollum. You can blame the aprons. You can do whatever. But in some ways, Chris should be very lucky and feel lucky that he got a over $30 million contract for 3 years, this one that just ran out. And he amassed a good big chunk of money. You know, in some ways, once again, Chris is not a starter. Chris is a bench player. He's a role player in some ways. And, you know, the price tags on role players have gone down in the last year or so. So, I mean, he had to do it the way he did it. And you know, the timing couldn't be the same way because the contract was different than theirs. And it was different timing. So it is what it is. I don't want Chris to have regrets. He doesn't have regrets. I don't think he has a regret about what he's done. It's just he's unshaky about what's coming up next. It's just shaky what's coming up next. That's all. And we'll have to see where he goes. Hopefully he's going to be in the right place with the right opportunity, and he'll be happy. That's all I can wish for him at this point. Smooth saying when a player wants out, he wants out. Yeah, but also Jonas is a little easygoing in some ways. He'd be like, all right, you're not going to let me go. All right, fine. I'll come and play. Because I feel that energy from him. He's not a punitive kind of person that holds a grudge. And I think that because he has a certain level of like, I don't want to waste my life and time, he'll come with the right kind of ethic to a degree. But it may be on the down low, he's holding back a little bit, or he's just kind of a little pissy about the situation too at the same time. But he's just that kind of person. You can tell. He probably will be a good citizen. He might do exactly what the Nuggets want him to do this season. But in some ways, it's just not classy as far as I'm concerned. And I think that the Nuggets have not been classy this year. The way they fired Michael Malone was totally unclassy. Very, very unclassy. Yeah. And they should have, if they really need to fire somebody right at that instance, they should have fired Calvin Booth right at that instance. Yeah, they should have fired him. Yeah, let's see. Cool Cat saying, I'm talking about Bronny's game. He only played 5 minutes each quarter, maybe a health requirement. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm not paying attention to him. I'm not going to do this. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do this. He's not any more special than most of the players in Summer League. And just because he's LeBron's son and he has all this added pressure, I don't give him points for this. I'm sorry. I'm not a Lakers fan and I'm not a LeBron fan. So it's like, I'm not going to cover Bronny. I mean, it's kind of funny that we come to this point. Last year, we were all sick of hearing about him at this time. I mean, like Monique was basically ready to ban the word Bronny from our chat because she was like so sick of hearing about Bronny James. In some ways, I'm still sick of hearing about him because in some ways, as much as he had one good summer league game yesterday and helped them win, that doesn't matter to me. That's over importance of one player just because of who he is. There's so many other players like AJ Lawson, who's the number one player in the summer league. I'll talk about him because he's the number one player statistically in the summer league, and it's his birthday. So who cares? Bronny James helped them win the game and got 17 points in a 67-58 game. I'm sorry, that's not that. You can enjoy it, Cool Cat, yourself, but I'm not a Bronny fan. And I get what you're saying. Your point is that the man's had so much pressure, and to see him get some sort of success right now, in some ways, I would argue he should never even been here. Seriously, this opportunity could have been afforded to all kinds of other players in his class that probably were better than him, but did not get the opportunity because their father wasn't LeBron James. And I'll stand on that forever. So it's like, it doesn't matter what he does. He's still got the nepotism opportunity to do this over other people that probably were better qualified than him. And I'm going to say that every time. Seymour saying that Kareem, welcome back, JB. I know Kareem's being such a troll. You know what? I'm going to give him a dunk. Even though I'm at odds with him on this Jonas Valanciunas thing, Kareem's awesome and he's funny. And I think that it's hilarious. He's kind of reveling in the whole thing that Jonas has reported. So it is what it is. He doesn't want to lose the money. If he doesn't show up, maybe he doesn't get the money. And somebody's he's going to be in the middle of it. I don't know. Let's see. Seymour saying the fourth Jokic brother. Yeah. Yeah. I think that it's funny that Jonas embraces the fact that he looks like Kelsey, the football player. That he does like all these goofy things like with that guy, Travis Kelsey. He starts acting like, oh, that's me. He's like, he embraces the whole doppelganger thing. It's kind of funny. Good thing the Morris twins went the media route. I don't even understand how these guys are going media route. Were these guys verbose? Are these guys talkers? Do they have the quick tongue like me? I don't know. I wouldn't think like Markieff Morris is like going to be on the TV broadcast afterwards. In some ways, I don't want to hear his voice. He's a goon. He's a punk. And like once again, I don't want to hear his voice. I don't care about what he has to say. Most people in the NBA hate his ass. Unless he played for your team, you like him. In some ways, I don't like Draymond either. It's the same reason why I don't want to see Draymond on the broadcast either. Why do we have to get these asshole enforcer kind of guys to be in the media afterwards? Why? Is it because of Charles Barkley and the way he's been a success? These guys aren't the next Charles Barkley. These guys are actually hated guys. They're not lovable like Charles was. Charles was like lovable and hateable at the same time. Draymond Green's just hateable. Morris twins are just hateable. I don't want to hear them or see them on broadcasts. I never even thought the Morris twins would want to be in broadcasting. Why the fuck are you doing this? Seriously, go away. Go join WWE and start being a tag team and fight the Usos or some shit, Morris twins. Seriously. Why the fuck are you on TV is what I'm saying. Monique saying, Jeremy Lin, been so busy in Toronto, does the ARC event, interviews, then goes into Scotiabank Arena and shows off the championship pictures via Instagram. Yeah, Jeremy Lin doing his charity stuff with the Chinese community here in Toronto is fantastic. Simalu, Baron Davis showing up also to support. Great stuff. Great stuff. Cool Cat saying, I'm not complaining about his last Raptors contract. It was great. I know Denver wanted him at that time, Raptors resetting. I just want his career to continue in the NBA. I do too. We have the heart in the same place. We care about Chris. We like him. It's just that I want to look at it realistically. I know that he's done with us, obviously. And, well, I just hope that he goes to a team that will value him and give him time to play, and he will be happy. Once again, it's about Chris being happy, and that's what I want. And I think he'll be happy. He's in a good place in his life where he's got wisdom and kind of a perspective that's very mature and kind of like looking at the whole thing. And I think he's going to be fine either way. It's just I'm waiting, just like he is, to get the news of what the situation is and the terms. And I just want to see him, in some ways I wonder which team it's going to be. That's worrisome to me. Like, I don't want him to go and play for the Celtics now. That would be weird. I don't necessarily want to see that. But, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what it is. What if he went and played for the Sixers all of a sudden? I'd be like, holy crap, he's with Kyle and Nick again. and it'd be kind of like interesting. But in some ways, I'd hate it. I hate it. So it's like certain teams I don't want him to go to. I probably don't want him to go to Lakers either. I don't think that would be a good situation for him. So yeah, it's that kind of stuff. It's that kind of stuff. We're our hearts are in the same place for sure. Cool Cat saying, I'm not a Bronny fan. I'm talking in general about because the pressure kids have when the parent is uber successful. Saw Jordan's kids fail. Pippen Jr.'s handling it. Dwayne Wade's son failed. Tough, man. Yeah, it is tough to live up underneath your father's shadow. There's very few that go and surpass their father. People like Ken Griffey Jr., people like Steph Curry. And it's really tough to do, especially when their parent actually had a pretty good level of success. It's very, very tough to do. I mean, how many sons of all-stars become all-stars later? Usually, no. Their father may have been in the league, like Gary Trent Sr., but then, you come in, junior's better than senior. That's true. Gary Trent Jr. is better than Gary Trent Sr. But, Del Curry was never an all-star, and his son, Steph, became one of the greatest players ever. So it's more likely you're not going to be as good as your dad if he's professional. It's very, very tough. And you're exactly right. I agree with this completely. Completely. It's not like Scottie Pippen Jr. is better than Scottie Pippen. We know that too. Kareem saying, all I'm saying is honor your contract. That's all. If it's family related, then sure, things can be justified. If Denver, NBA, the FIBA let Jonas do this just because he wants to, it will open up Pandora's box. Yeah, I guess I can see your argument as far as like the Players Association and the team's reps for the owners and how things work. I mean, a lot of this is rooted in player autonomy. The NBA has had a bad history of really treating players poorly at like property. The book I'm reading called Blackball right now basically was really awful like to players, and they really were constricted. And the Players Association and the union have been fighting to allow players more freedom and getting more rights for them the whole time since. And they've been very successful at carving stuff out. Yeah, in this situation, I can see what you're saying. It's like, where does this go after this? It's a slippery slope. And could there be a lot more chaos in the league just if they're letting people rip up contracts? But this is the whole thing. How often is somebody ripping up a $10 million contract, Kareem? How often is that actually happening? Seriously. What is the difference between him saying, you know what, I've retired from the NBA, but then he still plays over in Europe? Like, what if he just says, I retired, rip up the contract. I'm never coming back to the NBA ever again. But then he goes home and he's like, he's retired. But then like a month later, he shows up and plays in Greece. That's kind of what Ricky Rubio did, right? Ricky Rubio retired from the NBA, but he's gone over there and he continues to play in Europe right now. So, it's like, I mean, Jonas technically probably could say, I'm officially retiring from the NBA right now. Sorry, Denver. I'm done. I'm walking out. He might be able to still do that if he's really push come to shove. Monique saying, W Stream, W Vibes. Go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. Raptor Freak Crew strong forever. Just keep helping me limit the comments. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we're just at 115. We got a little bit of time to mess with, and I still have some segments to do. So Fiercely saying, I don't follow him, but do know Kiyan Anthony. Yeah, Carmelo Anthony's son is heavily being promoted as an upcoming NBA player. Yeah. There are some really good second generation NBA players coming up that are going to be looked at for sure. I wonder what happened to those Boozer twins. There was supposedly Carlos Boozer's two twin sons are really good, and they should be coming somewhere, but maybe they didn't work out. I don't know. I heard about them for a while. There's always going to be some crops of, like Jason Richardson's son just got drafted to the Magic, and he's playing in the league now. There's going to be legacy players coming up. That's just how it is. Legacy players on the Blue Jays, legacy players in the NBA is part of it right there. Yeah, getting back to that Denver Nuggets roster, man, I'm telling you, I'm not that scared of them. I think overall they don't have a whole lot of height, and they're a smaller team, and we'll have to see how susceptible they are to our sticky hands coming in and stealing the ball from them. So, yeah, let's see. I want to give you the straight goods on Canadian goods. I've done gas stations before. I want to reiterate them again because I've found some new information on gas stations. And I want to give you guys some options. Like when you fill up and you want to support Canada first, and you want to avoid foreign corporations and oil, and you want to avoid money going out of circulation in Canada by the profits going overseas or even to the United States, Well, I'm going to give you your best options at the gas pump. And well, first of all, we've got Husky Energy out in Calgary in Alberta, over in Seymour's area. Husky is a great choice for filling up your gas. It's a very much a Canadian company that's Canadian, stays in Canada, the profits, and even the oil is sourced from Canada. And it's even like, this is all good stuff. They keep it inside the country. So Husky Oil is a great company to deal with. In Eastern Canada, Irvin Oil is a great company to deal with. They have 769 stations over around there. So if you're near an Irving, that is a great place to go. Co-op gas bars, which are in Western Canada also, are fully 100% Canadian, which is fantastic. Also, this is a new one, and I didn't realize this. I've been saying some things because I wasn't sure, but they've reassessed and figured out that Petro-Canada is actually very, very good for Canada, guys. I was under the impression that it was with somebody that was otherwise, that they've been bought out, but that's not true. They are under Suncor, and they are full Canadian refining and retail network. So it's wholly Canadian. It gets a perfect 10 score. So Petro-Can is actually good for Canada. I said before at some point, oh, no, Petro-Can is not good, but I'm actually wrong. Petro-Canada is a good gas station to go to in Canada, guys. Pioneer, Ultramar, still very good gas stations, I've said before, for you to go to. So, yeah, those are my recommendations. If you want to support Canada more at the pump, Petro-Can, Ultramar, Pioneer, Husky, Irving Oil. Those are great gas stations to go to keep it in the Canadian economy and not let the oil profits go to other places. So these things matter. Let's keep it in our circulation. Let's be patriotic and proud of Canada and make it stronger economically by buying Canadian. That's right. You may hear the radio ads on the radio now with people like Rick Mercer, Michael J. Fox, Mike Myers telling us, buy Canadian, support your country, keep it strong economically. And that's what I'm saying to you guys right here. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Fiercey's saying Thad Young's son also. Thad Jr., yeah, he's on his way up. He's on his way up. Gary Trent's brothers could be going somewhere. Kyle Lowry's son, Carter, is doing the basketball route right now too. So there's some very interesting prospects. Who knows what Fred VanVleet Jr. could become someday, or even his sisters in the WNBA. We'll have to see. Cool Cat saying, I heard somewhere that modern NBA recruits are all rich NBA kids. It's no longer an inner city escape dream. The path to the NBA costs a lot of money now. Join the ranks of tennis, hockey, golf. Yeah. That makes sense. It's the prep school route. In some ways, you need to be able to afford to take these kids to prep school. Now, this could happen for a kid from the inner city like Emmanuel Quickley, and it's very helpful. Emmanuel Quickley did come from humble beginnings, and he did go to a very expensive private school for high school, and it launched him into his career in Kentucky. And, this is the thing. They'll pluck them out of the situation in the inner city and bring them into those situations as prospects and bringing them up. Of course, sometimes people that do that to help them have dubious reasons why. The other side, Michael Ower and stuff like that, over. But yeah, I'm just saying there's a, this is still, there is a pathway from there, but you're right. It is a lot worse and harder. It used to be you find the basketball talent in Rucker Park and other really interesting urban places. But now it's almost like, you got to be in the prep school program, and you got to be going to elite schools to get recognized and get somewhere. People like Scott going to Montverde, Scott got it out of the mud and got to that point. But there was help and like people recognizing his talent and helping him along the way to get there. So yeah, it is a different kind of thing. And this is a really good thing that Cool Cat's pointing out, how the game is changing. And not only is it that they're rich from prep school, these players are going to be rich from college and the NIL before they even get the NBA. And Bobby Webster was kind of talking about this with Hello and Welcome podcast at the Holt Renfrew on Blur about a month or so ago. He said, the way we bring in young players to the league is going to change when these players come in already millionaires from the NIL. And before, in some ways, we had to teach them how to manage money and do all this kind of stuff that when they were getting the money coming into the NBA, but now they're coming in with it. Now, this could be pitfalls for some of these young players if they don't have the guidance of a good agent or parent or family member or people around them. They could be all screwed up financially before they even get the NBA because they get the NIL money in college already. So this is going to be an interesting thing. In some ways, you could schmooze some of the college players and entice them to your team because of the profit of the money, the contract they're going to get. But now they're not going to want this because they're already going to have the money before they even come to the NBA. So how is this going to change the NBA over the long term? And how will this change how you recruit and how you look at players when they're coming in? In some ways, you may be able to suss out who's a bad player to draft because once they hit the money, they stop trying to play hard because they may get the money in NIL. And then all of a sudden you see, oh, he dropped off once he got that bag from that endorsement deal. And now it's like, yeah, your draft stock just went down and you're not going to get the NBA right. So it's like, it's going to be very important for young professional players that aspire to get the highest ranks to not let the money stop them from being motivated, because the money's going to come earlier and it may suss out the people that are lazy and don't need to be trying to be in the NBA because they're a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Bobby Webster may be able to watch a kid in Duke or whatever school and say, yeah, he's getting all that money. And look, he's already dropping off as far as he's not going all out because he's got money now that it'll change his life just from being in college. So it's going to be very interesting. Cool Cat saying, okay, I will switch to PetroCan. I've used Pioneer. Good to get that Instra info. Pioneer's great too. I mean, they're both ranked high. They're both ranked high on this index. PetroCan is 10 out of 10, and Pioneer is 9 out of 10. So they're both really good. I mean, on this list, I can tell you where ESSO is. I can tell you where ESSO is. ESSO is getting a rank out of 10 on this list of 6, a 6 out of 10. Shell, 4 out of 10, really bad. Like Gulf, 2 out of 10. Texaco, 2 out of 10. 7-Eleven, 2 out of 10. Do not get gas at 7-Eleven, Texaco, or Gulf. Really, really bad. Shell, really, really bad. Do not get gas at Shell. Do not get gas at Esso. Mobil. Canadian Tire has an 8 ranking, so they're not as good. They're the same as Circle K. Canadian Tire and Circle K are 8. And then, like I said, the 9s are Chevron, Ultramar, Pioneer. And then the 10s are Sunoco, PetroCan, Husky, Irving. Those are the really, really good ones. So, yeah, Ultramar and Pioneer are okay, too. They're okay, too. Let's see. Wayne saying, morning, Raptor Freaks. Denver not playing well by the look of the standings. I will be cloud GMing on this one. I think AJ should be locked down. Brampton Citizen has proved his worth. Let's shed lead. I like all this that Wayne's saying right here. Yeah, they are 0-2, and they lost a close one, and then they got beat by a good margin in the other one. So, yeah, they don't have a very good Summer League team. Let's just put it that way. The Nuggets should be getting their ass beat by us tonight if everything goes according to plan. That's right. Classic card coming soon. Cool Cat saying, I love the NAL is allowing students to stay in college longer and develop more skills. No need to leave early because of money. I love this too. And that means more four-year college products like Jamal Shed coming. In some ways, I hated how one and done was happening so much because I feel like those kids are losing out on the proper basketball tutelage that they should be getting in college from the college coaches to be more of a finished product for the NBA coaches. And too much is happening where NBA coaches are going to having to do the job of the college coaches and instructing the young players on how to play basketball correctly. That's part of the problem. So the money's good. And, honestly, a lot of these players will make more money in college than they will in the NBA. So some of them will stay in college longer just to get the full amount that they could do there. And the NBA is not to be rushed to anymore at this point. And the other byproduct, as Cool Cat is saying, is they'll stay in school and they may be finishing their degrees more often, partly because of this also. So this is a really, really, really good, really, really good thing. I agree with her. NAL is not a bad thing in any way. It's just we're going to have to see as it's implemented over time how the ripples of it affect things. Like there's going to be some weak-ass drafts coming up now. This may be the last really strong draft because a lot of the players that are coming up there's going to be a delay on them coming because they're staying for the NAL money. That's right. That's right. Trevor J saying, every morning I get up very early for your show and it's 7 a.m. I'm going back to bed and be up by 1. You do your part, Trevor. I appreciate you, man. You're a rock. And you're going even earlier right now because you're on that Vegas time. And yeah, I know it's a lot earlier than it is here. That's right. Mo's saying, I'll be watching to see what Carter Lowry does. Kimberly leaves for Giants of Africa Festival July the 20th next week. Just the update. Thank you for keeping us updated on Giants of Africa, Kimberly. your friend and a great, awesome person. And of course, yeah, the festivities that Masai is putting together for Giants of Africa this year are extended with a longer schedule and more activities and more. It's even bigger and better this year. And I'm excited for Giants of Africa and Kimberly and Masai and the event that's coming up next week. This is fantastic. And yes, please, Monique, keep us updated on what's going on with everything Giants of Africa and your link with Kimberly for sure. Troy Henry saying you're right on Petro Can because I know the family also neighbor with one of them. He's the son for the company. Yeah, I wasn't sure because like at some point I was thinking, oh, they're not totally with us anymore, but they are. Petro Canada is absolutely a great company for you to buy your gas at and keep it in the country. It's just the information changes because some of these oil companies are swapping companies around and brand names, and it's sometimes not always easy to understand. Like honestly, right now, I know I said Pioneer is good, but there's also the possibility that Sunoco is going to buy Pioneer, and then it'll be under Sunoco. Although Sunoco is pretty, I don't know. Wait, Sunoco maybe isn't the good one to have. I don't know. Either way, Petrocan's fine. And I said in the past, don't get Petrocan, but I was wrong. And I want to come back around on that. All right, let's see. Let's keep going with the tabs. Raptors Reddit. As I said, we had the rankings of the Raptors there. Apparently, Vivek Jacob is reporting 25 minutes ago that Kawhi Leonard will make an appearance at Giants of Africa with Masai Ujiri this year, coming into Africa to make an appearance and be there. That's a fantastic thing. I love to hear that Leonard is helping out Ujiri with Giants of Africa. That's a huge get. And I bet Kawhi will really enjoy this experience of going to Africa for Giants of Africa. So that's a fantastic big deal. So good reporting, Vivek Jacob, that Kawhi Leonard's coming to Giants of Africa to be there. And you know, the Raptors dance pack is holding tryouts for the Raptors dance team. So if you want to try and be on the dance team, you better get down there. I wonder if it's going to be like the old dance team. It's going to be changing. We're going to have to see. We will have to see how the Raptors dance pack changes under King Edward III. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Reddit's pretty funny. They're asking who would win, 2019 Raptors championship team or 2009 Lakers championship team. So it's like Kyle Lowry, Danny Green, Kawhi Leonard, Pascal Siakam, Marc Gasol versus Derek Fisher, Kobe Bryant, Trevor Ariza, Pau Gasol, and Andrew Bynum. I think our team would beat that team. I mean, Kobe's great, right? And obviously, Kobe's the best player involved in this, but Kawhi is a very close second. And then the other guys on our team are stacking up better than D. Fish, Trevor Ariza, and Andrew Bynum. Yeah, I'll give some respect to Pau Gasol. But otherwise, yeah, nah, that ain't. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Is there anything interesting on Blue Skies? Look, Doug Smith is echoing what I said yesterday on the stream. Maybe the Raptors didn't draft a young center who'd take 2 years to develop because they've already got a guy who's in the pipeline named Ulrich Shamshe. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Keep on moving. Happy birthday, AJ Lawson. Fantastic to know it's your birthday today. All right. Let's do the classic card. I think we're at that point where we can do the classic card, guys. Yeah. Let's see. Wayne's saying, totally understand your point on college athletes getting paid. I just don't think it's our business how athletes spend their money. If they fuck up or do well, wish them well. NBA is tough to make. Yeah, I'm not even talking about that with the issue. It's about their desire to play competitive basketball is what I would worry about. Some of these guys get to the NBA and they make millions of dollars and they stop trying. They stop working. That's very evident. DeRozan has called this out. And that's why I made up something called DeRozan code. A guy who doesn't have DeRozan code, somebody who gets the bag and stops trying. And there's a lot of players in this league that are doing this, according to DeMar. They're not in the NBA for the right reason. Once they get the bag and they're set, they check out. And that's the thing. I'm explaining that I think that some of these guys will check out earlier because of the NIL money, and they'll be easier to suss out and not waste time on in the NBA level because it's like that. I don't care how they spend their money. They could be James Harden at the strip club eating wings every night and just throwing hundreds and thongs all day long. I don't care how they spend their money. It's about whether they stop trying once they get their money. That's what I care about. Cool Cat saying, remember that Kawhi's daughter is betrothed to Masai's son. Oh, really? I forgot about this. Laugh out loud. The families are staying close for that marriage contract. She's joking. but maybe she isn't. I don't know. So Kawhi's daughter's going to get married to Ujiri's son. Interesting. That's very interesting. Randolph's here. Blessings, beloved Raptor Freak family. Others are looking to you with great anticipation as you lead with your experience and great knowledge. Do not disappoint. There you go. In your neck of the woods, you can be a leader for what is right and just. And, don't be afraid to step forward with it. We need good leadership now more than ever with very poor leadership in certain places. And the grassroots community leaders are going to be the ones with the power in the area that you're at. There's going to be more and more of a movement in our society against corporations. And we need to get more grassroots, more and more local. A lot of people have already been doing this on the down low. Support your farmers market, support your neighbors, support their endeavors, and stop spending all your money at Walmart. There's all kinds of ways we can fight the fight individually in our own private lives. And that means shopping locally. That means not buying American, not buying corporate. And more money will go out of circulation from those places, enriching the people that are fucking up our society and giving it more to the grassroots people, the people that live next door to you. And that's the way we fight back. We can do this, y'all. It's just that we need to put our money where our mouth is, and we can have a way more power. This is the only thing that will fuck these people up, is this, because this is all that matters to them. And we want to be rebellion. We want to resist. Well, resist in your everyday life by building your life more in a grassroots level and go more community oriented. And as things go weird, embrace your community and get more organized together, because the more strength we have together locally with people that are your everyday common citizens that you see every day at the grocery store, the bank, on the street, the better off we're going to be. This is the way we win this, because the corporation is inhuman. It is cold, and it's not a real thing. It's just a made-up entity for evil men to do evil things without getting the repercussions or the blame. Yeah, blame it on the corporation. It's just a faceless thing of a bunch of people in a coalition to fuck over everybody else at the bottom. So I'm just saying, this is what we're going to need to do more and more. And we're just entering the phase where we need to seriously do this, because they aren't going to stop doing their crazy maniacal megalomania power grabs until we hit them where they hurts. And, if we did a general strike, they're complaining that, there was an eclipse and it lost all kinds of money and revenue for businesses and big corporations because people took a break to go look at an eclipse outside. Well, just imagine if millions of people walked off the job and did not go to work for a couple of days, how much money they'd fucking miss, how much money they'd lose, and how much it would hurt them, and how much they'd start fucking kowtowing to the population, to the people, and start getting their act in gear. They've been out of pocket and aggressive and very inhumane towards the common working man. And the way we make this work, and they bow to us, is a general strike. Nobody goes to work all of a sudden on a certain day. We all get organized and nobody goes. We will bring the machine to its knees, and they will be kissing our ass to beg us to come back. In the history of civilization, in ancient Rome, there would be unjust emperors that would take over certain townships in Rome. You know what the citizens would do? How they rebelled against an unjust leader, an emperor? They just leave the fucking city. They wouldn't even be there anymore. They say, you are a fucking animal and a barbarian and you're treating us wrong. We're all leaving. We're going to pack up and we're going to go to a different city state, and you won't have anybody running a damn city. That's what they did in ancient Rome to defeat maniacal emperors that were wrong. And we can do it again now. It's just that we need to divert our economic energy towards the people that are justified in receiving it, and not the fucking megalomaniac monolithic corporations that are sucking us dry as parasites from the top. So I'm just saying, the more you get like-minded like me on these things, the more we're going to win over time. I'm telling you right now, the more we're going to win over time. That's right. Right there. Boom goes the dynamite. Woo! I like that one. Somebody clip that one out and put it on a politics page. Because seriously, what I just said is the key to how we win against the bullshit that's happening with the 1%, the billionaires, and the corporations. Hit them where it hurts. Walk off the job, and we can do this. That's right. That's what we can do right there. Boom goes the dynamite. That's right. Thank you, Randolph Phillips. Blessings to the Phillips family and all the Raptor Freak families out there. That's right. Monique is saying, wow, Kawhi, as I speak about Kimberly, this happens. Yeah, there you go. It's cool. Kareem saying, damn, Masai got that kind of pull. Even though Kawhi stiffed us, the relationship stuck intact. To go to Africa with Masai is a build of trust and love. Well, we've seen Leonard in the offseason going to interesting places because he's just a guy who likes to travel and go to cool places. It may be very well that he's like, I'm really interested in going to Africa because I want to check it out. And yeah, I don't think that Masai and Kawhi ever had a problem. It's just that Uncle Dennis had a problem with Toronto. Seriously, I think that's what it was right there. Yeah, let's see. He said, okay, never mind. I didn't know they are tied together through engagement. That's a joke. They're joking about this. I think that at some point there was a moment where Masai said, yeah, Kawhi's daughter and my son are going to get married someday. It was just kind of offhand, casual. I mean, you know how this thing is. People are being cute. They're just being cute. Who knows if this is actually legitimate? Who knows? Maybe there is a strong bond between Kawhi's daughter and Masai's son, and that they will be eventually in matrimony. I have no idea. It could be true. It could be true. It could be true. Let's see. Seymour is saluting to Masai. And Cool Cat saying, Lex, Masai said it years ago on Kawhi's leaving. He said both the wives are great friends, and the son had a baby crush on Kawhi's daughter, so they have to marry in the future. Suggestion or plan? Well, who knows? It could be written in the stars. It could be preordained. It could be all that. I'd love to hear that Kawhi's lady is very good friends with Masai's wife. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, let's see. Seymour saying AJ is 10th on the Summer League scoring list. That's good, but he's on the efficiency list. He's number one. He's statistically the best player at Summer League right now. His stats, his metrics are number one, baby. Number one. Yeah, Wayne's saying totally agree with the checking out point. The love of basketball and dedication by an athlete will raise to the top, and money is just a side issue. NBA unwatchable sometimes when that cohort plays. Yeah, this is a big deal. And honestly, I think it's going to be really good for not wasting time and money on the NBA level on players, because it may be that people like Bobby Webster can see this coming with certain guys not being all out in the right ways to be a professional at the top level of compete. In some ways, that is what I'm saying. We could find out who has DeRozan code before they even get out of college if they can get paid like that right then. That's right. Right then. Randolph saying, Lex and freaks, why are we, the people who have the power to demand and cause change, continue to allow these to keep on moving the goalposts? We need to unite. Yeah, because they're scared, Randolph. This is part of it. The progress of the earth and progress and woke and all this stuff is going to win anyway. They can't stop this. So the racists, the bigots, the misogynists, the patriarchs, they don't like the New World Order. And the idea of having a woman of color be the president of the United States was just too much for them to bear. So they had to steal this election to stop the normal progress that was going and take a step backwards. Well, it's not going to stop what's going to happen anyway. We're going to drag them into progress in the future, whether they like it or not. And whether it's going to be the old guard, the old ass racists dying off more and more. The young people are more progressive and more forward thinking. They are not about this. They say it's a mandate, what they're doing in the United States right now, but it's bullshit. Nobody's for this shit right now. In fact, MAGA is turning on Donald Trump at this point over Epstein. So it's just like, you know, these guys are running this country like a king and a dictator. And well, there will be a revolution. There will be violence. There will be things happening, but we can do it bloodlessly also in our own ways. And economically is the most effective. That's what I'm saying. If we economically stand up in the way that I described just a little while ago, we can be very effective in causing this to revert back into the right direction of how things should be going. It's just that the racists are scared because we are changing the world for the better towards something more like Star Trek. And these motherfuckers don't want that. They want to feel in their shallow, sorry-ass, fragile egos like they're above someone, even though they're inbred, incompetent, stupid-ass white supremacists who fucking are not good at their job. And you know what, DEI? You know what, DEI is better because you get people that are diverse that would do a better job than y'all because y'all are stupid. You're incompetent and you're below average, MAGA. Yeah, it's evidenced by your people that are in charge of the country right now and how they're fucking incompetent and running everything. So listen, they can have this stumbling block, this roadblock, this last minute grab to try and stop things. We could go two ways, a dystopian future where the billionaires and the corporations run all of our lives and treat us as cattle and treat us like disposable people. Or we can rise up, like Randolph's saying, stand up in the game and just stop going to work and stop spending money at Walmart. Stop spending money at McDonald's. Stop spending money at Coca-Cola. Start spending money on your neighbor's goods. Start spending money at the farmer's market. Start supporting your friends that have services locally. Get more in touch and the grassroots level close to you. And we will all enrich ourselves on the grassroots level. We will shun them for their economics at the big mega level. It's going to take a lot of us to do it, but the more of us that work in this direction going towards this is the best way for resistance in this system and the way this is an economic resistance, whether it's where you spend your money or whether you go to work. And somebody say, what, Lex, I can't do this. I can't stop going to work. I need money to make money to live, right? I get that. But when the call comes, and you will hear it, there's been a couple of them already this year. When they say no work, go on strike, go with them. Even if it seems like your job shouldn't be doing it, everybody can do this all together. Or are they going to fire everybody? If we all make the machine stop, they will feel our power. They will feel our power. And not many people in places on media or social media are going to talk outwardly and openly like this, like I am. But there's a lot of people talking like this, like I am. And you may not see them. You may hear more of the voices like mine coming up in the near future. So just realize this is what it is. This is what it is. We're going to get, if we're going to turn this around, we're going to have to do it together, and we're going to do it economically. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a big, big deal. That's right. Blackhawks saying fools are getting what they asked for. Yeah. MAGA people getting their people deported, MAGA people losing their Medicaid, and they're pissed. Yeah, you dumb rubes sitting out in the woods in the middle of America, in the country, hating black people and immigrants. And well, now you're getting fucked by MAGA yourself, you idiots. You got fooled this whole damn time by a comment named Donald Trump. And now you're coming around and whining and complaining, I lost my Medicaid because of him. You voted for that shit, you dumbass. You were a fucking idiot. You got fooled by a Fox News and a grifter named Donald Trump, who we knew was a grifter in the 80s. And y'all still ain't caught up 50 years later almost and understanding who the fuck this guy really is. Seriously, his path of destruction with screwing over contractors, his failures of a casino and everything he's ever done. How the hell did anybody believe anything this liar, pathetic, pathological, narcissist, egotist, motherfucker? How did you believe anything he said, you dumbasses? I don't even understand it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. That's right. That's right. Blackhawks saying good goofballs say they are polite, but can't live without Medicaid. It's really messed up, man. It's really messed up. You can't be pro-life if you don't understand about quality of life. The other thing is it's not smart. It's very expensive to not do preventative medicine. This is why universal healthcare is the best system, is because if you have people going to the doctor regularly before there's major problems, there's not big, huge healthcare costs. People don't go to the doctor in the United States because it's expensive. And they end up getting worse health outcomes because they waited too long. And then it's even more expensive then. People can go to the doctor and feel free to go. They prevent shit. They live longer. They're healthier. And the cost of medical stuff goes down because they're not having to spend out of the wazoo when the shit hits the fan and they're really in trouble. So there's a lot to it, man. You cut out that middleman of all the insurance bullshit people that are in the American healthcare system. Yeah, costs go down too because they're not taking their share. And Doug Ford, fuck you for thinking you want something like this shit up here, privatizing healthcare. No, we don't need middlemen leeching and sucking off us like leeches on our back, like parasites, getting more money out of people just because you want to privatize healthcare and make money off the health of people. It's not right, is what I'll tell you, Doug Ford. And fuck you for even trying to push the Canadian system anywhere towards privatization of healthcare, you piece of shit. Yeah, I'll say that every single day. That's right. That's right. Cool Cat's saying, based on history, when you have a major societal upheaval, it leads to a major change forward in society. The arc of the universe is long, and the last hurrah of the oligarch and racist agenda. Yeah, this is what this is. This is what this is. I read something this morning saying the part of the reason why this happened is because the United States never properly punished the Confederacy. Part of this happened because they didn't punish Donald Trump properly in the last few years with what happened on January the 6th. The Democrats were too nice, too much of a patsy, too much of a false hand on the other hand. The Republicans, they don't care. They run roughshod and break all the rules, cheat, do all this stuff. And the Democrats are acting like, well, we are better than this. We have to do it the right way. Bullshit. These motherfuckers cheating. You need to be cheating too. In fact, I know what you are. You're a false flag side of opposition that actually is just kowtowing for what the billionaires want anyway. So the Democrats, the liberals, same fucking thing in this country. That's why the NDP, that's why Bernie Sanders, those are the real left side politics, AOC. These are the leaders that we got that need to take us forward because they're the progressives. And not even the liberals or the Democrats. They're fucking in the way. They're the false party that's supposed to be who we're supposed to throw our support into, but they're ineffective. And that's by design. That is by design that they're no good at their jobs and putting up a front against the Republicans and the conservatives right now. And it's sad because you know what? They were supposed to be the ones that were supposed to counterbalance that whole shit, but they are just kowtowing and taking it up the ass from them at this point. And that's why I have no respect for the Democratic Party. And I left it when they turned their back on Bernie Sanders and went with Hillary Clinton a long time ago. I do not consider myself a Democrat, but I have had to vote for Democrat because of the two-party system in the fucking United States. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. She's exactly right. The arc is long and we can't see the whole thing. And you know what? Society's going to be better for all this. I really do believe that. You know, when you have a tyrant like Donald Trump come in and show you all the ways that society can go wrong, you put safeguards up after him and you make things better afterwards. So hopefully that is what's going to happen. Hopefully that is what's going to happen right there. Monique is giving me my cutoff once again. Number one fan. Let's see. Wayne saying there are swats of so-called working class folks who are highly dense and fucked up. We have to seek alliances and values and attitudes. Anyone who supports caste and class are the problem. Shun caste. Well, anybody who supports the billionaires and talks them up from a lower class, you are a class traitor. And once again, it's not a culture war. It's not people with differences of race or immigration status or sexual orientation. It's about the classes. It's about the whole working class all the way up to the 99 top to the 1%. It's us versus the 1%. And we outnumber the hell out of them. They're scared as fuck. And do you understand why Donald Trump put so much money into the ICE budget? Because he wants a police force to protect the billionaire class and the corporate class from people like Luigi. And that's basically what this is, ICE, throwing so much money into this. So they're taking our tax money from the United States citizens and putting it into a subjugation police force that's going to fucking hold down the masses to protect the billionaire class in their ivory tower. They're more likely to protect the billionaire class's property than actual regular everyday citizens' lives at this point. So we got to understand where these lines are. And the fact that he just budgeted this huge amount of money for his own Gestapo, basically, is very disconcerting and a big problem. And this may be where the issues are going to lie. Now, the thing is, there's a lot of Americans who actually do believe in America and its ideals still. And in this whole thing, you got to figure out how you're going to act in this. You're going to bootlick Donald Trump and ICE and MAGA just because, oh, it's easier and I just go along with it? Or are you going to take a stand and be right with the ideals of what the country of the United States was founded on? I mean, this is where real patriots come from and real Nazis come from too. So that choice is yours, law enforcement. That choice is yours, prospective ICE agent. That choice is yours. And you choose that, well, you become what you are when you become whichever you are. And the choice is yours. You can be a stormtrooper, a bootlicker, a MAGA SS enforcer, Gestapo agent. Or you could be an idealistic G.I. Joe, real American who believes in the Constitution, who believes in no kings over America. And then you will be the right part of the resistance. And in the end, you will be looked at as a hero instead of a war criminal like these other people are right now. That's right. It's it right there. Boom goes the dynamite. That's right. Let's go. Blackhawks saying their racism made them so stupid they would vote for a goat if it bans immigrants and is against abortion. Yes, yes, yes. They've used top button topics like abortion to really kowtow people. They've used a lot of weird made up criminal stats about immigrants and MS, blah, 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 and all this bullshit to really dehumanize immigrants and make it so that they're all bad, even though hardly any of them are criminals. Hardly any of them. The percentage of how many immigrants are criminals is so minute, but they take really bad cases, some cases, specific cases, and they blow them up even bigger and make them seem like they're everyday occurrences all over the place, which is absolute fabrication. It's a playbook by the right-wing politicians to play up crime is out of control, and we need to give more money to the police and militarize them so that they can treat you guys, you know, in some ways like a prison society. So keep your eyes open and be aware of how these things are changing. And the budget for ICE is scary as fuck. And if I was an American citizen, I would not be cool with this, because they're basically, you're paying your tax money towards a police force that will be being a prison force for you guys. And maybe you're free on the outside, but honestly, when people are enslaved and jailed like they are in Alligator Alcatraz right now, none of us are free. None of us are free. When anybody can get taken for no good reason to a place with no due process and get put in a hot, stinky ass cage in the middle of the Florida Everglades with no fucking food and not even the ability to get a Bible or anything, that is inhumane and it's unjust and it's fucked up, and none of us are free. If anybody's been taken there, they went and visited that Alligator Alcatraz, and people in the back were saying, I'm an American citizen. What am I doing here? You think that it matters whether you're an immigrant or not? They will take people they don't like that are Americans to their ICE facilities that they want to build all over the United States right now. So yeah, open your eyes and understand there is a siege by the billionaire class, the 1%, and the MAGA world on everybody, basically. And it may not coming at you right now, but they will come after you at some point. Trust me. And we might as well start fighting them now while they're going after the immigrants, is what I'm saying right now. Boom goes the dynamite. There you go. I know I'm heavy and I'm doing some major politics right here, but this is stuff that needs to be said. And the more we're educated and understand the standings of this without the mass media lens and the bullshit, because the mass media is corporate and they're going to tell you what they want to say to keep you down and kind of docile and kind of, oh, they're fine. We give them sports so that they're not paying attention, and we do other things and distract them. It's that kind of shit that's going on right now. Epstein file doesn't even exist anymore, according to Trump, but he was telling everybody he was going to bring it out and share it with everybody. Well, he's number one on the list. That's why he won't put it out there. It's obvious that it's number one on the list. That's right. Yeah, you don't want an abortion? Then don't get one. Be happy with your own choice. Yeah, people want to try and control other people's lives. That's not freedom. That is not freedom. Live your life and don't watch others. Another part of the push right now is they want to integrate church and state. They want to have the churches more involved in the government and more involved in everything. That is a big no-no to the founding fathers. And yeah, that's not American. Once again, trying to integrate church and state is a big no. Seymour saying, Lex, I use Costco gas. It's $45 to fill my tank. Yeah, you shouldn't. Costco is American. Costco, you're giving money to the Americans. You need to go to Husky. You need to go to Husky or Petrocan. That's what I'm saying, Seymour. Don't go to Costco. Costco is a huge corporation for the United States, and you're basically giving profits to the United States when you do that. It's costs only $45 to fill your tank. I'm sure you can get that price somewhere else too. And that's not just there that it's like that. Blackhawk saying, if you're pro-life, you better support daycare, breakfast and lunch programs for kids, senior citizen programs, paid parental leave, government-sponsored college and university. Yep. He's exactly right. That's the funny thing. The pro-choice side has always been more pro-life than the pro-life side has ever been. I mean, even being for abortion is actually for pro-life, because you save women's lives by allowing them to have abortions when they're in medically dangerous situations. So it's so stupid. They call themselves, oh, we care about all the unborn babies. No, you don't. You care about controlling a woman's body is what you fucking care about. Abortion people that love being against abortion. That, you care about controlling women. You care about the patriarchy, and you care about keeping women under the thumb of men. If you support pro-life agendas, seriously, that's what it is right there. Pro-life agendas should be, they're misnamed. Anti-abortion people, I should say. That's what I should say. Yeah, live your life and don't watch others. Yeah, you don't need to be messing with nobody. They want to be a certain sexual orientation. They want to be a certain way. That's none of your damn business. Seriously, that's none of your damn business. Unless they're breaking laws and hurting other people, that is none of your damn business in some ways. That's right. Seymour's saying, Lex, I already read that. Let's see. Wayne's saying there is not enough oligarchs and multimillionaires to vote themselves into power. Yes, they have to manipulate the masses to get there, or just steal it. They depend on working class people through misinformation to vote against their own interests. Caste is one method. Yeah, I'm totally with you. I'm totally with you on this. I'm totally am. All right, let's get back on subject here. Thank you for allowing me the platform to speak politics. I know maybe some of you guys don't totally agree with me, and my views are not totally the views of the Toronto Raptors or the organization. I want to say that. These are my own personal views as a fan of the Raptors. And I know that not everybody's going to agree with me on everything, but hopefully maybe I said some things today that opened your eyes. That's all I'm going to say right there. Giannis Sky is back. Good to see Giannis. Any Denver fans here? I don't know if any Denver fans are here. We've had a couple Denver fans at times in the channel. A while back, we had friend of Jonte Porter in here before. Tom, friend of the Porter family, was a big Denver fan, and he was coming in here for a little while around Jonte Porter being on the team. And boy, he took off right as soon as that scandal happened. That's for sure. Cool Guy saying history will not be kind to all the leaders and participants to yet another atrocity on the human condition. Yeah, the things that are happening with Gaza and the Palestinians are going to look seriously fucked up more and more throughout time. Netanyahu's going to look like Hitler. Trump is for supporting and everything that how they supported Israel and the bombing of the Gaza Strip and the genocide of the Palestinians is going to look really, really bad. And this MAGA stuff that's going on right now with ICE and the immigration stuff is going to look really bad too. And, Nuremberg did eventually happen for the Nazis. And sentences were meted out. And, he's reversing all the January 6th stuff and giving $1 million settlements to some of the January 6th rioters just because they're loyal to him. This is a king, man. I'm telling you. And there's a lot of stuff that they've got to reverse and get right. And in some ways, the American Constitution is going to have to be amended to safeguard against this kind of bullshit ever happening again. And the biggest thing that's important about fixing American politics is getting the corporate money the fuck out of it. The corporate money is out of control. And in some ways, the best way the voters can work is against anything that's corporate endorsed. And this mayor race in New York is a big, big first initial fight on this. Don't listen to all the sewering. Like Milbester's coming in here talking about the guy running for New York mayor is a socialist. He's wrong. He's taking in the corporate bullshit and feeding his brain with the bullshit of what we're just talking about. Milbester, you're a good guy. Go vote for Zoran. He is the right choice. And don't fall for that socialist bullshit label thing they're saying. Yeah, he's a socialist. That's good for you. That's good for you, Milbester. You want to vote for Bandini because he's going to fucking give you better things in your life. But if you vote for the other side that's corporate endorsed, no, it'll be worse. It'll be the choices that aren't in your interest. So I say, Milbester, we love you, Knicks freak. Don't fucking come in here and tell me Zohan Mardini is a socialist and you can't vote for him, because that's telling me you've been programmed by the corporate mass media to believe that. So I'm saying more candidates like him are going to come around, and we're going to need to go in full effect and support them and rage against the machine and revenge against the machine and get the right kind of leaders in there, the ones that are representing the people for the people and doing things for the people instead of the big corporations and the oligarchs and the billionaires. That's it right there. Boom goes the dynamite. There you go. Okay, so Giannis Sky is a Denver fan. Okay, cool. Giannis Sky, welcome. Looking forward to the game tonight against your organization. We're in a really interesting place as a team. And if you're coming here to scout us, yeah, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Our team is very much a team that's on the Raptors. And our players are very adept and connected. And they are not like a normal summer league team. We've got our rookie class from last year with Jacoby Walter, Jamal Shed, Jamison Battle, Jonathan Mobo, and Ulrich Shamshe. And all of these guys played together a lot last year. And then you got AJ Lawson, who's a 5-year player who was in the finals for the Mavericks against the Celtics 2 years ago. And he is absolutely balling out. And he played with all those guys too. And so did Colin Castleton. So we have like 9 guys on our team from last year's Raptors that are all collectively chemistry locked in. So we're not the normal summer league team. We're not a band of misfits that are just thrown together this week. We are organized, and we're going to come and fuck you guys up tonight. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. We messed up the first 2 teams we played already. You're going to see some crazy-ass steals where the Raptors are going to swarm your guys, and we're going to be running in transition and dunking the ball a lot. This is what we've done so far this summer league. It's just how it is. It's what's going on right here. That's right. Babylon. That's what Blackhawk's saying. Babylon. That's right. Let's see. Kareem is a Nuggets fan. He's first Raptors, but Nuggets is his West team. That's for sure. We don't need Valanciunas. Najee will have 6th man of the year season. All right. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, could you talk to them and get them released? Because I want Jonas to be happy. That's all. I mean, if he comes and plays for you guys, he'd be good. He can do good things for you guys. But I just feel like if the man's already saying he wants to go to Greece, just let him go to Greece. You guys got good options on the free agency market, and having a whole MLE and some money to spend instead of having one backup center, you could have a different backup center and then maybe some money left over on the side to get another good quality player on your roster. That's what I say. You guys got Bruce Brown back, I saw. That's pretty cool. I like that Bruce Brown's back. That's right. Cream saying Jonas shores up the backup center position, but this is a Raptors channel. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, he's torn in this one. He is a Nuggets Western fan, and he's a Raptors fan first because he does live in the GTA. So yeah, it is. Yeah, free Palestine. I'm totally with you, man. I'm totally with you on this. This is something that I feel very strongly on, and I cannot stand with the Zionism that is genociding the Palestinian people is absolutely disgusting. The techniques that they're doing are barbaric and absolute war crimes. Absolute war crimes over there. Absolutely. Like I was saying, Giannis Guy, sorry to tell you, but you need Valanciunas. I don't know. He may be right. I mean, would you want Jonas on your team if he's not fully in his heart there? I mean, seriously, you might be wasting your time. And I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. I mean, once again, my thing I care about, I want Jonas to be happy. As a former Raptor that I really like a lot, that's the only thing I care about in this in some ways. So let's see. Fiercely saying that Tom dude disappeared along with Darko, who was hyping us up in the streams. Darko was really Darko, and that wasn't a weird thing. Darko did come into this channel and talk with us at one point because it was right after he got hired, and he was excited about being in the Raptors. And he wanted to connect with the fans. So that was literally Darko who came to our stream and hung out with us. His picture was him and his name, and he talked like Darko. And I asked people in the organization, would Darko do something like this? Would he show up on a YouTube fan creators channel and just do this? And they're like, yeah, he would, because he's like that thorough and that connective with people. That was really Darko, fiercely. We found out later that was actually Darko. And I'm actually really glad that we treated him with the respect that he was. I don't know who's coming in here. You guys are just names. Somebody could come in here like they did before and say they're Chet Holmgren. And I'm like, okay, Chet, we'll talk to you, Chet. Oh, it's Vince McMahon. Let's talk to Vince McMahon today. I don't know. Y'all could represent anybody, but I've been told that literally really was Darko. And they're in the archive, those episodes. If you could find which episode it is, it's right after when Darko got hired that summer. Darko came into our stream multiple times and hung out with us and talked to us. I'm pretty sure it was actually him. I got a really good message from an employee inside MLSE that told me that he would totally have done that. And that was probably him. Yeah. So that wasn't a fake. That was actually Darko, our coach, who came into our stream and interacted with us. Because he was actually playing himself. It sounded like him when he was talking. He wasn't making jokes. He never broke character. He came in and said, I want you guys to know we're going to be very good. I'm going to work very hard, and I'm going to get this team into a good place. Is basically what his message was when he came in and talked to us. And he just wanted to see our enthusiasm and our passion for our team. So, yeah, I think it actually was him because people were telling me that he did shit like this around that time. He wanted to check out the landscape for the Raptors. And, well, the fans were one of them, man. The fans were one of them. Yeah, let's see. Giannis Guy saying, I appreciate what have done for the Raptors, but he's a bad player now. Jonas, he's just older. I mean, he's solid. In some ways, it's crazy he's still in the league, considering his player build and the fact that everybody thought like 10 years ago he wasn't going to be in the league that long because he's just a big lumbering center. But he added a 3-point shot, and that gave him some more longevity. But yeah, Jonas is awesome. He's a really smart player. In some ways, he's not exactly the same players, but he's better in some ways because of up here. The experience and the smarts of him are top notch. And like people said about Jonas overseas, anybody would want Jonas on their team. You guys may be just saying this because things are weird right now, but anybody would want Jonas on their team, and especially in Europe, because he could play the FIBA game so well. He would make a team really good in FIBA right away. And that's why that Greek team wants him so bad. They know he's going to be good. So he's saying he's from Canada. He's a Raptors fan. Okay, Giannis Guy. I wasn't sure, because it seemed like you were asking who the Denver fans were, and it seemed like you were solidifying things. So you're a Raptors fan too. Awesome. Raptors #1, baby. Let's go. Blackhawk saying JB is far from bad. He has gone through the bullshit of the Wizards and Kings. That's reason enough to want to run. I mean, I don't think that's exactly why. I mean, the Kings would be fun for him because of DeMatteis and DeMar. You know, being back with DeMar is kind of cool. You know, the reunion of Jonas and DeMar on the Kings this last year was kind of cool. And then, of course, playing with his very, very longtime friend, Domantas Sabonis from the Lithuanian team in the NBA is cool too. So, I mean, in some ways, I'm kind of mad at Sacramento for trading him out of that situation, but they probably knew he was wanting to leave already. And in some ways, it's Denver's fault for not knowing that Jonas was wanting to leave. And Sacramento pulled a full fast one on them and said, yeah, he's actually told us he's going to leave. Well, wait, why did you trade him to us? Well, didn't you hear him say that? I mean, I knew that Jonas wanted to leave way before he got traded to the Nuggets, but the Nuggets front office ain't listening, ain't paying attention, ain't doing their research to know that Jonas Valanciunas said, I want to go to Europe this year. That's your own damn fault. You should have done your job better and understood where that man's head was. Sacramento pulled a fast one on you. They traded a man who don't want to play in the NBA anymore to you guys, and y'all didn't do your due diligence research to find that out. So I blame the Nuggets for this situation because y'all didn't listen. Y'all didn't do your research. You should have known about what's going on with this. So in some ways, that's just how it is. Wayne's saying one last point. When a working class person says they're against someone, ask them what policy they're against specifically. Any suggestion on who we should have for Toronto 905? Okay, that's a little bit different non sequitur. Yeah, there's a lot of different techniques to diffuse division at working class levels. It's really just appealing to the person as saying, you know what, we're not that much different. We very much have the same kind of issues and plights in our lives. Even if they tried to divide us by this category or this, honestly, we have so much more in common than not. And we have way more in common than Donald Trump does with us. There's a lot of different techniques to do this. Now, part of it is these guys are so bad and such bad liars. They really are doing such a horrible job conning at this point that the veil's lifted. And even their diehard, most ardent supporters are seeing they got grifted, which is insane. It's like, holy crap. The realization, if you've been this deep into MAGA, of all of a sudden finally figuring it out at this point after the disaster that U.S. has come to, man, you are totally at fault. I mean, you're also getting subjugated to it. It's like the biggest loser position you can be in. Seriously. It's really crazy. Yeah. I think it was actually Darko, Fiercey, just so you know. Yeah. And Blackhawk saying he's Zorro. All right. Yeah. Kareem saying Bruce Brown, JV, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Cam Johnson are pretty good additions to a team who took the champs to 7 games in the playoffs. Yeah, I think that, switching Porter for Cam Johnson's interesting. Cam Johnson's a better player, but Porter had more synergy and experience in gelling with the Nuggets, obviously, and that may be a difference. I'd like the Tim Hardaway Jr. pickup. I think that's good. And Bruce Brown being back for vibes doesn't hurt, obviously. So I don't know. I've looked at a lot of the additions and changes with the rosters in the NBA, and Denver's doesn't really stand out to me as a huge upgrade. I always look at Atlanta and be like, wow, Houston, wow. But Denver's not that exciting to me in some ways for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like they're going to be right around where they were last year. Seriously. But your point about the playoffs and what they did, 7 games with Oklahoma City, yeah, that's true. Next year in the playoffs, that's the time when they're scary. I think that they could be a bad regular season team, like in the middle of the Western Conference, maybe a lower seed in the playoffs, but really take a team to task when the playoffs happen. That may be what happens right there. That's right. Fiercely saying it was in the summer, and he kept saying he had a good plans for us. Yeah, I'm telling you, that was him. I talked to an employee that is around the team and knows his energy and how he is, and they'd say, "Oh yeah, that would totally be something he would do." Yeah, totally something he would do. That's right. Fiercely saying Jonas was still solid while on the Pelicans. Still don't understand why he left for Washington, but he is still valuable. I actually prefer his style over Kelly as he's a true 5. Yeah, he's a true center. Kelly's kind of a power forward, stretch 5, small 5. Yeah, I he was fine in Washington. It's just Washington's Washington. And really the reason why he went to Washington was that contract. That he got like a $10 million a year contract. And that's all. That's really why right there. But he got out of there. That's right. When he's saying, I leave for a second and you're still on marathon. I'm kidding, Lex. Well, I'm just over 2 hours. And, the conversation got into politics today, and it was actually pretty fruitful. I thought that we had some good discussions today on politics. Okay, we'll do this one. This one's kind of stupid. But here we go, guys. Classic card of the day. Please give me the full name answer so that I can give you the points with a clear conscience. Okay? Here we go. Here's the classic card of the day. Tell me who this is right here. That's right. Washington washed up players. Yeah, this one's easy, guys. It should be pretty easy right here. I might have mentioned this guy earlier on the stream, or I did yesterday. I know that. But yeah, y'all know who this is. Get the full name answer. If you spell it correctly, that's better. But if you can't, if there's a spell correct and it's a little weird, okay, we don't do half names. You got to put the full name in. That's what I say. Don't half-ass it. Not that there's anybody else in the league with his name. It's just that it's part of the rules for our trivia, Giannis. So just real quick, put his first name in. So yeah, I'm going to give it to Giannis because he doesn't know the rules of the channel. But yeah, you got to write in the full name answer on this channel, because in some ways there's like some people come in and say Brown or Williams, and I'm like, yeah, that's not enough. There's so many different people named Williams in this league. You have to have the full name answer. So it's got to be, even though it's Porzingis is just the only Porzingis in the league, it's just one of the rules with the trivia. I'll give you this gimme on this one, Giannis Sky. But if you do the classic card in the future, make sure you put that Kristaps Porzingis on there. Both names. It's just an old rule. Yeah, there's Porzingis on the Mavericks. That seems like so long ago, doesn't it? That seems like so long ago. How many teams has he been on since then? He was on Washington. He was on the Celtics, and now he's on the Hawks. It's really weird. He's on the Hawks, man. Yeah, there's only one Porzingis, and that's enough. All right, I'm going to give Giannis 50 points for the classic card. Here, Giannis Sky is getting the classic card, even though he half-assed it. It's just a special one-time only half-assing. And yeah, we never again. I won't give you another card in the future if you just put one half of the name. 50 points to Giannis Sky on there. Let's go. Let's see. Went to the Knicks also. He was on the Knicks before the Dallas Mavericks, so I didn't count that. He started on the Knicks. So yeah, he's been on Knicks, Dallas, Washington, Boston, and now Atlanta. 5 different teams for such a unique player that's kind of a franchise building player. Well, people kind of, he wears out his welcome. He doesn't stick around. It's because he's a kind of a prickly guy. He's not a very nice guy. In some ways, I never see Kristaps getting an aura with any of his teammates anywhere he's gone. He seems like he's just a detached dude. Like he doesn't really get into those vibes with his teammates. It's like, yeah, well, Kristaps shows up and he plays, but honestly, are any of us really friends with him? It's like I get that feeling from him. Like he didn't even bond with Luka when he was in Dallas. Him and Luka did not like each other. You could tell on the energy; it wasn't exactly right as far as Porzingis. I think he's just kind of like standoffish person and not very friendly. Let's just put it that way. Not very friendly. All right, let's do the wrap up, guys. The Nuggets are playing the Raptors tonight in Summer League, and their roster is. I'm expecting a blowout. I think the Raptors can beat them by 20. Hopefully, if they make their free throws and they don't turn the ball over. The key players to watch out for on the Nuggets: DeRon Holmes, the second, the player who should have played last year but was hurt all year, is healthy and he's back. Keontae Johnson of Kansas State, Boo Buie of Northwestern, Hunter Tyson, Clemson, Reese Beekman, Virginia, Spencer Jones of Stanford, EJ Liddell, Ohio State. These are kind of the main names that we should look out for in the game tonight against the Nuggets. Like I said, if I'm looking at them on paper, they're worse than the Bulls. They're worse than the Magic. And in some ways, this game should be easier than the other 2 games. And the Bulls was a trouncing, and the Magic was just a bad offensive game by the Raptors that they pulled off the victory in the end. That's right. What do you think about Mamu? I think he's a great addition. I think that he's fantastic. I think he's even an upgrade over Olynyk being on our team in some ways. I like that he's an energy guy. I like that he gets after it. I like that he gives energy to his teammates. I think that'll fit in really well with the Scotty Barnes-led Toronto Raptors because it's all about working off each other. And Sandro is an energetic kind of player that will go above and beyond and getting out there. It doesn't hurt that he's already good friends with RJ from high school. And he's already in the fold, and he very much did covet coming to play for the Raptors. So, yeah, Mamu's going to be really good. And I like the difference between him and Pirtle, and he's definitely going to be our backup center. Yeah, Sandro's going to be fantastic. I'm excited about having a higher caliber backup center this year. He may be one of the best backup centers we had in the whole entire history of the Raptors. Let's just put it that way. I know that from both the stops that Sandro's been at before the Raptors with Milwaukee and San Antonio, he's a fan favorite. And the fans really got behind him because of the way he plays all out. And I fully expect the same thing up here in Toronto when he takes the court in the Raptors red. So this is going to be exciting. I'm really happy about that pickup. In some ways, I was very scared about our center depth this season. But once we got Sandro Mama Luca Viscelli, that made me feel a lot better. Let's just put it that way. That made me feel a whole lot better. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching the Raptor Freak stream this morning, previewing the Denver Nuggets game tonight, 8 p.m. the tip-off. I hope that you will enjoy the game. And if you're on our Discord server as a member of this channel, you get access to Discord. And we're going to be in there on voice chat during the game, talking throughout the game. It's been very fun and kind of a party to have the RFF together on the mics, talking while the game, opining and observing about how the game goes down. So if you want to join my channel as a member, you get access to the Discord server where lots of extra stuff on off times for this channel are happening with Raptor Freaks. So I appreciate everybody. Let's go Raptors. Let's beat the Denver Nuggets tonight and get to 3-0 for Coach James Wade. And let's go all out and let's get this Summer League championship, Toronto Raptors style. That's right. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah.